Pioneers are back to Rice-Eccles Stadium to defend their title. They enter the 5A semifinals with a 12-0 record, 17 straight wins, the longest current win streak in the state. They have plenty of returning talent. On offense, quarterback Jackson Brousseau, running back Carson Gonzalez, and a massive offensive line. The defense is led by Isaac Terrell and Cadian Sweat. All have championship experience. Combine that with talented newcomers, and it's easy to see why the Pioneers are favored to repeat. They aren't the only undefeated team left in 5A. The Stansbury Stallions are 12-0, the best regular season record in school history. The Region 7 champs have an electric offense. They average 51 points per game. Ezra Harris and Dylan Hamilton have connected for 20 touchdowns. They have next-level talent in Matiaki Halu and Easton Baker. The Stallions have the talent and experience to win it all, and they get a chance to prove it against the defending champs. It's a rematch from last year's semifinals, Lehi versus Stansbury. Which undefeated team will remain perfect and advance to the 5A state championship game? Find out on Game Night Live right now.
A KSL Sports presentation. Game Night Live kicks off now. Sponsored by UCCU.
Welcome to Rice-Eccles Stadium on the campus of the University of Utah, the home of today's 5A semifinals. And we kick things off right now with Lehi versus Stansbury. You saw it in the open, Sly. You saw this is an undefeated matchup. The rematch from last year. Everyone's excited to see this game. Lehi, they look like the favorite, but there's a team at Stansbury that believes they're the favorite. We'll start with Lehi. Why are they so special? Why have they been able to run the table and beat teams like Corner Canyon and Timpview?
One, experience, and a darn good quarterback in Jackson Brousseau. As we know, this guy is committed to Colorado State already. He leads this team, and then, of course, you got an electrifying running back like Carson, Speedy Gonzalez behind you. They are just a dynamic tandem, and then Katie and Sweat handling things on the defensive end and special teams. They got talent across the board, bringing a lot of guys back, as you said in the open, from last year. You know, experience leads them to getting the #1 ranking in the state this year.
But Stansbury has a lot of experience. Guys that were here last year are back. They have star power as well. Easton Baker, Matiaki Halu, they're loaded as well.
Yeah, no question. Halu's having a great year this year, but the best record in school history, 12-0. These guys are on a mission, and there's no better place than getting some payback from last year. You know, the Stansbury-Lehi matchup last year was electrifying. Lehi has a little different hair this year. Last year they were all blonde, you know, for a teammate fighting cancer. But this year, these two teams' matchups, undefeated matchup. This is almost a state championship matchup in itself here in the semifinals. I'm so glad and ready to call this game.
Stansbury averages more than 50 points per game. Ezra Harris, the quarterback, Dylan Hamilton, the receiver, have connected on 20 touchdowns this year. They are electric. Let's go down and introduce you to the third member of our broadcast team. He's down on the field. You know him from KSL Sports Rewind. Dusty Litster is going to help us get ready for this. Dusty, how are you?
Yeah, doing great, guys. So excited for this game, the rematch of this game. And it's funny, talking with a lot of coaches around here, Stansbury's had this game circled since last year's semifinal, where they feel like they let it get away. They weren't ready for the moment. They feel like they're going to be ready for it today. And when you look at Lehi, this is a team last week that maybe got their worst game out of the way, where they had to come from behind to beat Box Elder. They're motivated. They're clear-minded. This is going to be an absolute blast between Lehi and Stansbury.
We'll get this going shortly.
Yeah,
they're going to do the anthem right now.
It's going to be absolutely awesome. We got some crowd noise. The student sections are going back and forth.
Both student sections are ready to go. Look at this.
Yeah.
These are championship level student sections that are going to get ready for the anthem here shortly. I love the atmosphere. It's so special to come up here to Rice-Eccles Stadium and be a part of this. We'll join the anthem live right now as we get ready.
Rise
Now that is a great rendition of the anthem.
She did her thing for sure. That was amazing.
Great way to get us started here on Game Night Live for the 5A semifinals. We are just seconds away from kickoff. A lot of things to look for in this game, Sly. I'm looking at the Stansbury offense. They have the weapons to compete with Lehi. 2 1,000-yard rushers. Ezra Harris, the quarterback, is almost at 1,100 yards and 11 touchdowns. Matiaki Halu, who's committed to the University of Utah, 1,053 yards rushing and 15 touchdowns. And then the pass game is electric as well. They're very physical on defense. The question I have coming in is, can Stansbury match up in the trenches? They've got to at least make that close to even in order to get away with a win here. If they can do that, they have the weapons to win this game. On the other side, Lehi, they know they can do this. They've been there, done that. Do they avoid complacency? Are they still hungry? Do they still have that a little more drive than Stansbury does to win that title? Stansbury's never been there. Stansbury wants what they have. Can they hold them off? Can they match their intensity?
Yeah, no question, and that's what I'm going to look for, because like we said yesterday, I think that playoff football, championship football, that is different than any regular season or exhibition game. You know, I think there's different intensities, there's different levels of focus. Everything matters. Every penalty, every potential exposure to fault here. You know, onside kicks to start games. There could be anything that could set it off. And honestly, you got to play a near perfect game to beat teams like this. And both of these teams are undefeated coming into these matchups. And in most of their games, we called the last Lehi game of the year versus Orem. These guys don't trail in games. They lead. So this is going to be an interesting matchup to see how these guys handle adversity and resilience through. And most of the time, the team with experience in these situations prevails.
We're going to see the Stansbury offense first. Ezra Harris, number 16, is the quarterback. 2,554 yards passing, 39 touchdowns, just 8 interceptions. Oh yeah, and he's also rushed for 1,071 yards and 11 touchdowns on the ground. It all starts with him. He is the leader. He's been here before. He was the starting quarterback last year. And right out of the gate, they start with that, but it's intercepted.
Guess who?
Cadian Sweat.
This guy is amazing.
Best safety in the state, and he does it again right here on the first play. Stansbury going for the kill shot. Sweat was ready.
Which I respect. You know, anytime you want to take a shot to start a game, you want to get momentum going, that is how you do it. And even if I get a turnover, I'd rather have it on this early in the game so I know to not challenge Cadian Sweat again, or to make sure that he's on his game, or I just implement a different game plan. So I respect Stansbury for taking that shot, because that's the type of coach that I would be. I'd be taking that shot early in this game. But you're going against Lehi. You better be ready.
So Lehi takes the ball. Jackson Brousseau, the quarterback, number 2. He's going to start with a pass. Stansbury's defense is ready for that bubble screen attempt. They are all over that. You can see the intensity on that side. Jackson Brousseau, 2,761 yards, 29 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Coach Larson's quick to remind me that those stats would be a lot greater if he played a lot of second halves. They blew out teams so many times this year that he only played half games.
Yeah, no question. I've seen so many 60-plus point games in one season from one team. It was just ridiculous. The point differential is just astronomical in between opponents. So not only are they putting up amazing points, but they're playing outstanding defense even when their second and backups come into the football game.
Nice tackle there by Brock Wilson. Forces a 3rd down and 5. Rousseau's going to pass. The rush comes. They're going to set up a screen. It's incomplete. So the Stansbury defense
snuffed it out.
After the turnover, steps up, and the Lehi Pioneers cannot capitalize on the turnover. They will be forced to punt. This Stansbury defense is fierce. They are nasty. They are led by Easton Baker, just a junior, committed to BYU.
Ooh.
Just an outstanding linebacker. He's going to be all over the quarterback today. Very few teams have been able to contain him this season. Short snap, handled very well. Gets the punt off. That's a fair catch at the 8-yard line. So very nice punt. Number 46, Gavin Fenn did a terrific job. That could have been a disaster for Lehi.
Well, for me, this is sky territory, right? I would almost always, because the likelihoods of a return is very, very slim, right? Because it's sky, it's opportunity for the coverage team to get down there a lot quicker. So I would almost always send the pressure instead of a return on that. And if they would send the pressure, that ball skipped to the punter. And so that's an issue. That's maybe something that Stansbury is going to pay attention to. So watch the next time that Lehi punts, if they punt, that Stansbury might send pressure to see if they can capitalize if that long snap doesn't get back to the punter again.
10:43 to go, first quarter. Both offenses have already had the ball in just 1 minute and 17 seconds. That's the kind of game this could be.
Well, and JJ and Sly, I think one of the things to remember, one of the mottos of Stansbury is when in doubt, go faster. And when you have a defense that can do what their defense does, Sly, you tell me this, it allows your offense to be more aggressive when you have a defense you know can get you the ball back and go 3 and out as someone like Lehi. So if they show that early, you can continue to be aggressive offensively, right?
No question. When you have an outstanding defense on offense, you can be as aggressive as possible. And this reminds me of my Pittsburgh days, Dusty, where our defense, we had the #1 defense in the league for 3 straight years, right? And we had Ben Roethlisberger coming in. He would throw 3 picks in the first half, and I would look at him, and he's still smiling on the sideline. And then he comes in the second half and throws like 3 or 4 touchdowns. And it's only because you're just like, I got a defense that got my back. Why not take risks? Why not take a shot at the beginning of the game and do that? And that's exactly what Stansbury did. So yes, that is a very true statement.
Harris is going to keep this time. His first run of the game, and that Lehi defense, they are so good. Multiple shutouts this year. It's been very difficult to score points against them. Corner Canyon only scored 24 against this Lehi defense. Second down and 10. Harris is going to throw. That's almost intercepted.
Right.
Broken up by number 35. That is Hema Katoa. You're going to hear number 35 quite a bit today. Hema Katoa as a playmaker for that Lehi defense. Trying to connect with Brock Wilson and could not, so it's going to force a 3rd and 10. Lehi scored 70 points in a game this year, not once, but twice. They are electric offensively, but they have not faced a defense this stout all season. Harris on 3rd down. That is knocked away. The Lehi defense gets it done. Lance Olson, the cornerback, on the coverage, and that's going to force a 3 and out.
Yeah, and that ball was just a little bit inside right there. If he leads him to the outside and he makes that catch, that's a 1st down. Great route by the receiver, but the ball was back inside, allowing the defender to break that up with contact.
A little bit of the field position game going on now.
It's huge, right?
Yeah.
And that's why sometimes you choose to kick at the beginning of the game, right? And then because they seemingly have played on this side of the 50 for the entire first quarter.
That's going to take. Oh, he touched it early.
Did that touch number 4?
I don't think so. I'd have to look at a replay. That ball's down at the 45-yard line.
Got to get
Lehi.
my eyes checked here.
Here's another look.
Oh, no, it just bounced behind him. Okay.
Optical illusion.
Right? It looked like it. It looked like it.
So that Lehi, the Stansbury bounce on the punt places the Pioneers on their own 47-yard line. Still outstanding field position once again for the Pioneers, now their 2nd offensive possession. Rousseau's going to hand it off. Carson Gonzalez, the carry. It's about 6 or 7 before he's tackled. Crosses midfield. He's going to be down at the Stansbury 47-yard line.
Great job cutting up, working his legs. This is what Stansbury's going to have to do. They're going to have to stay on top of Carson Gonzalez, because if they let him get out into the open field, you might as well say good night. Yep. Because that guy is fast in the open field. And I think Stansbury knows it best from last year's semifinals.
2nd and 4.
Reverse.
And around. Pass. Play action. Brousseau's going deep.
Great defense. Oh, did he
Who's got it? Who's got it? Nobody.
I was like, because the ball hung up there for a little bit, but of course he's still throwing across the field here and allowed the defender to catch back up, but it looked like it bounced around for a second to where somebody could have grabbed it, but it bobbled in between the two and fell on the ground.
Colton Tanner, the intended receiver. Great play by Brock Wilson to knock that ball away. Wilson is playing lights out recently. He had a monster game in the quarterfinals against Olympus. Both a touchdown reception and an interception.
Well, that's crucial. That'll pick up an automatic first down.
They just gave him a first down.
Not
Unless
automatic,
he was drawn off.
But the result of the play would be first
They're
down.
discussing it. But I think you're right. Oh, they're going to go back. It's a false start.
Wow.
He was drawn off.
Yeah, guys, they were saying snap infraction down here on the field.
Okay,
there was movement on that clap from Jackson. They said he flexed the ball.
That is why they jumped.
Falana Sinivaca was like, there's a reason I jumped. I didn't just jump.
Who do you think I am?
He didn't do no finger pointing, but yeah, that happens all the time, and sometimes the refs don't catch that. So that was actually a very good catch by the refs, because that's not often called, with that little inflection by the center, you know, when things happen, because they do that to draw off the interior D lineman.
Rousseau's got a pocket. He's going to step up into it, fire, and connects.
Great job.
That is a first down.
Great job.
Nice catch by number 81, Fernando Ruelas.
This is a college delivery right here on this curl route, sitting in between that zone right there. Look at the delivery. Look how much force he puts on this ball to make sure it gets there and only to him. Because it was a window. It wasn't the biggest window, but it was a window that he could have fit that ball in. So the velocity that he put on that ball made sure he got that route. Great throw.
Great read by Brousseau to find the open receiver at the marker. Now he steps up in the pocket, looking deep over the middle.
Wow.
Wide open, it's caught. He's down at the 18. Carson Gonzalez out of the backfield with the catch.
There was a miscommunication. There's no way a running back out of the backfield should have gotten that wide open over the middle. That outside linebacker, I think the middle linebacker should have picked him up, because the outside linebacker was kind of in a Tampa drop in between 1 and 2. And that middle linebacker is supposed to get number 3, which was the running back, right up the seam.
Hand off. Gonzalez has a path. Rolls into the end zone.
That's a touchdown.
That's a touchdown. 18 yards. Carson Gonzalez picking up where he left off in last year's semifinal and final here at Rice-Eccles Stadium. He loves this building.
Yeah, he rolled on top of the defender there, rolled him right into the end zone, so it wasn't short of the end zone. Great call by the referee, and great run by Carson Gonzalez. Touchdown Lehi. Lehi strikes first.
You can hear a pin drop in here for this extra point.
All right.
So much drama. And there it goes. Finally, they make the attempt. They were waiting a bit there. 7-0 Lehi. Here's another look at the Carson Gonzalez touchdown.
Blocked up great. Look at that pancake block right there. Blocked with such force. Watch these blocks come across the center. That is an aggressive block by the center right there. Oh my gosh. Great job by Danny Hoyle right there. The senior center. Getting that linebacker out of the way, and Carson Gonzalez creased right behind him for the touchdown.
This offensive line for Lehi is where it all starts, and you just saw right there. Let me mention these guys and their size. Jensen Somerville, a junior at left tackle, 6'7", 290. The left guard is Cooper Skidmore, 6'2", 265, a senior. Danny Hoyle, the senior center, 6 foot 240. Austin Boyd, the right guard, a senior, 6'4", 290, getting a lot of college looks. And the right tackle, Riker Peterson, the junior, 6'3", 280. Their starting tackles are back next year. That is a lot of beef and a lot of size. And that's why I mentioned at the start, the offensive line for Lehi, best in the state. Can Stansbury match up with them? That's going to be the question in this game. Right there, Lehigh won that match.
That's the reason why. And Carson Gonzalez is an incredible running back, and so if you're running behind that offensive line sounds like a college offensive line already, right? I don't remember my freshman class coming in and they were that size. So these guys are juniors and underclassmen, man. This is, of course, going to prevail for the future. This offensive line is going to stay intact and keep it going. You know, when we did Lehigh football, you know, at the end of the year, you know, Coach was talking about, Ed Larson was talking about how much the community, you know, gets involved and loves this program, because the young kids are coming up in this program. So they are just, they're literally creating these guys, you know, from the ground up, and this is just going to be an epic program for years to come.
A lot of talent on this roster.
I tell you what, Utah needs that kicker right there.
How is it that we've seen it all week? I mean, the last 2 days, these high school kickers have no trouble putting it out of the end zone.
I don't know what we're doing up here on the hill, man. This is nuts.
They got to come recruit some of these kickers here in the state that can kick it right out of the end zone.
All right,
Stansbury get another shot here on offense. Their first 2 possessions have not gone well, an interception and a 3-and-out. This is the most explosive offense in the state when it comes to production and points scored.
Oh, wow.
Catch is made. Nice effort.
Great move. And
that is our first look at Dylan Hamilton, the senior 6-foot receiver. This kid is special.
Watch this move in space right here. Whoop. That is elite. And as Dusty said, these guys go with speed right here. He gets back to the original line of scrimmage, but he's going to make it 3rd and inches here. They'll have to convert here to get to the 30-yard line.
3rd and 1.
Going with speed here. Let's see if they do a quick quarterback sneak. That's what I would do.
Harris is going to give. Up the middle. I think he's got it. Yeah, he's past the 30-yard line. That should move the chains.
So they'll go with speed here.
So progress for Stansbury. They've moved the chains here. Their first down of the game. And let's see if their offense can find some rhythm. Once it finds rhythm, it's really tough to stop. A lot of explosive plays throughout the season. Another give. Maybe a yard.
Okay. This is a great job by this Lehigh defensive line of staying stout and providing some penetration, not making it easy to run through.
Halu with that carry. Mateake Halu. Utah fans will want to keep your eye on him.
That's encroachment right there, so that's a free 5 yards.
You know, and Sly really like watching Helu run because it reminded him of another Pittsburgh teammate. He runs like Le'Veon Bell. He's very patient trying to find the hole. He presses the hole and kind of stutter steps around. It's not because he's indecisive, guys. He's just that patient. But it reminded Sly of his old teammate.
Yeah, Le'Veon Bell was something tricky. It was something that a lot of guys just hasn't seen before with that patience. It's coming like, what are you waiting on? But his explosion through the hole was second to none.
Harris on the keep. The pocket collapsed and he took off. He can do that. As I mentioned at the top, he's a 1,000-yard rusher at the quarterback position, so he's very comfortable doing this.
Yeah, and taking hits, normally people would be like, ooh, ooh, ooh. With him is like, oh, that's nothing. Regular run play.
Big play here, 3rd and 1. They're going to reset.
The hard count is working against Lehigh. They seem really jumpy.
They're an aggressive defense, so that makes sense. We've already seen that. Kadion Sweat already with an interception. Harris is going to hand it off to Halu. He's going to force his way forward up to the 47, 48-yard line. That is enough to move the chains again. So Stansbury patiently moving the ball up the field here.
Yeah, you see Stansbury hasn't challenged deep again. They wanted to make sure that Kadion Sweat still had it. That's encroachment. Oh.
Little issue on the handoff there to Hamilton.
Gets around
Turns some
edge.
positive yards out of it.
Yeah, but you've seen everything that Stansbury's done since that first play of the game has been short, 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 keeping it away from Kadion Sweat, which is smart. You know, he's a very talented individual. But this speed.
Harris over the middle. Almost intercepted again, and guess who was right there where the ball was? One of the best ball hawks in the state, Kadion Sweat.
I swear, we talked about this last year. but like there's just some guys, the ball is just attracted to them. Like there's no way he's playing the other safety. How did he get over there into possibly getting an interception on that?
Harris steps up in the pocket. He's going to throw deep again. And no.
Guess who?
They gambled and lost. Cadian Sweat with his second interception of the quarter. And the Pioneers will take over.
Celebration penalty right there, but Cadian Sweat, man, I don't know how Harris throws this short, but you got to lead him all the way to the end zone. It's got to be outside.
Yeah. We talk about this a lot, Sly. If you're going to throw that out, that go, it's got to be on outside shoulder to the sideline. If you throw it inside, players like Cadian Sweat, especially at the level that these guys play at, that's an interception.
But look how short Cadian Sweat it was. Even if you threw it over the top, I don't even think that he would get it, but you got to throw it outside.
This will effectively work as a punt.
Yeah, I mean,
not that that's what they wanted to do, but,
but
it'll have the feel of it.
Finally flipped the field, at least, right?
They did flip the field. I guess that's my point, is they're going to put Lehi back at the 13-yard line on this drive. And if the Pioneers are going to drive down and score, they're going to earn it against this defense.
Which they're plenty capable.
Stallion defense is tough.
As we said, Carson Gonzalez is one fast guy. One good block and he's gone. You see where these safeties are at. He'll literally have one man to beat most of the time.
Brousseau over the middle. That's a catch.
All slants. It's a great route. Great route. Simple route. Double slant right there. You hit the inside receiver. He gets 11 on first down. Great throw here by Jackson Brousseau, leading the receiver, putting it only where he can get it, and then allowing the receiver to get upfield as he catches it. A lot of guys throw that behind, and the receiver is stopped by the momentum of the pass, and they're not able to get yards after the catch. But great job by Brousseau at leading the receiver.
Makafifi Havea with the catch. Brousseau hands off. Gonzalez trying to get to the edge, and he does. Can he stay in bounds? He cannot.
Oh.
Had he not lost his balance, that would have been a house call.
Oh, as we said, man, this guy gets a blade of grass. He gets an opening here. Oh, he just loses his balance. Great way to tiptoe the sidelines there, but like, as you said, if he keeps his balance, there was one guy to beat, but a whole football field to do it with. And Carson Gonzalez, his speed is second to none here in the state. He is a talented running back.
Lehi already out to the 41-yard line. First and 10 from the 41. Brousseau has to escape the pocket, runs right up the middle, and slides down, and that is going to be penalized every time.
That looked like frustration. That was not smart at all.
Wilson losing his composure there. They can't have that. That's going to give Lehi a free 15 yards.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Stansbury's got to know, like, okay, there's been
that was Easton Baker. I'm sorry.
There's been some things that hasn't gone your way, but you can't lose composure. You got to stay in it. You know, I've seen teams get down by 14, 21.
That is the way Easton Baker plays, though.
Yeah.
He plays like he's shot out of a cannon on every play. This is why BYU loves him.
But you got to understand, that right there was almost a 30-yard play.
Yep.
They get the 12-yard run by the quarterback, plus another 15 yards by the penalty. And now we had flipped the field, and now they're stomping on the door in your opponent's territory.
Gonzalez on the handoff, right up the middle. They are attacking the middle over and over and over again.
Well, as you said, this offensive line, somebody's down there for penalty here. Got rolled up.
He's back up. Shook it off.
You know, it's interesting. Coach Ed Larson has a saying. He says, find the pigeon and throw rocks at it. And right now, it's a matchup going up the middle and how you find a way to get the ball to Carson Gonzalez. He told us before the game, he said, look, Stansbury plays man-to-man. We're going to find ways to attack it. He said, they play backyard ball. We're going to try to use it against them.
It's working so far. 3:45 left to go first quarter, and Lehi is knocking on the door. What a run by number 27. That's Devon Eka, a freshman.
That's the guy we talked about at the end of the year last year that Coach Ed Larson is raving about. Coach Ed Larson.
We saw him against Orem last regular season game of the year. He had a big game there.
Yes, Ed Larson loves this guy, and he's only a true freshman. Think about that. 14, 15 years old, and he can definitely lead a football team. He's going to be the running back of the future for this program. You already got your offensive line majority coming back. And now you got a dominant running back who your coach believes in.
It's a keep and a score. Easy done.
Right there.
For the Lehi Pioneers.
Katie
And guess
Sweat.
who just ran it in? Katie and Sweat on the direct snap.
I get 2 interceptions. You got to give me a wildcat in there, Coach.
Coach Larson said you're going to see Sweat on offense today, and we just did. He runs it into the end zone for the score, set up by the Devon Eka run down to the 1-yard line.
Yeah, you can see why this Lehi team, put 70 points on some teams this year. Stansbury is no knockover, and they are doing their thing here in this first quarter.
3:05 left to play first quarter, and the Pioneers now have a 14-0 lead over Stansbury. Here's another look at the touchdown run by Katie and Sweat. Doesn't get any easier than that. That offensive line, just look at the push. He walked into the end zone.
Right. Well, that's how you do it. Lehi's over here putting on a clinic. This is crazy because their next opponent they played and of course beat both of them, Orem and Timpview, if they prevail in this football game. So, Lehi's on the right track. They are focused. Talking to Ed Larson at the end of the season last year, or end of the season a couple weeks ago, he was just talking about how these guys are they're ready, because that was the thing is there fall off? Is there drop off from winning a state championship the year off? And he's like, I was expecting it.
Yeah.
And no, all of these kids are so respectful. They're so on it. I don't even have to coach. I have an amazing coaching staff. I have a system in place, and they're running. I could go play golf. He said, I could go play golf, and everything will run as if I was here. And so for the majority of the practice, he was talking to me. He wasn't even running the practice.
That's a luxury to have that you want to have. But it speaks a lot to the program they built there.
Yes. And you can see it on full display here. I mean, we haven't even talked that much about Isaac Terrell. He's like a J.J. Watt almost, at defensive end. He didn't play at the end of the season in the game that we covered, but we know plenty about him. He is a talented individual.
Well, you'll hear his name before this day is over.
For sure.
Now I'm curious to see how Stansbury responds to this. They have just absolutely demolished the competition all year. They have not been in a situation like this.
Well, JJ, it's interesting because though they're undefeated, they have trailed multiple games at the half. They come out in the second half and play better. So, I mean, even in the playoffs, their first home game in the playoff after the bye, they were down 2 scores going into the break. So this isn't new territory. However, none of those teams that were behind were Lehi.
Exactly.
The way Lehi's going.
But you make a great point, Dusty. This team is so explosive that 14-0 is nothing. Oh, he just barely stepped in the end zone. So Wilson's not able to bring it out. They'll take the ball to the 20-yard line. So the Stansbury offense will try to regroup. Ezra Harris has thrown 2 picks so far, but he's going to have to try to shrug that off and move forward. As we just were talking about, this is a very confident group. They know how to come back.
Right.
They know how to score points quickly. They're not going to shy away from this. 14-0 deficit. Harris going to keep. Sneaking up the middle, about 4 yards on the carry, and we got a late flag. That was a flag thrown after the whistle.
Let's see what this is. It's against Lehi.
And it's for a lot.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Just like the last drive, you can't give opponents that.
The fake to Hamilton. Harris going to go up the middle, get about 4 or 5 yards. And this has been working, Sly, and it's not as dynamic and explosive as you're used to seeing from the Stallions, but they're getting 5-6 yards of carry against this Lehi defense.
But here's my thing is, yes, they're down 14, but the tempo they play at, they can score and score quick.
Harris in trouble, gets out of it. What a play by Harris to avoid the sack. He's only going to end up gaining 1 or 2 yards, but just a spectacular move to get out of the pocket. We've got a Stallion player on the ground.
This great job, spin move. Keeps his eyes upfield, but just understands the pressure is coming. I've already thrown 2 picks. Let me take it. Let me take care of the football and just and get as many yards as I can.
The injured player is Dylan Chapman. So while they're attending to him, we're going to take a quick timeout. 2:10 left to play in the first quarter. 14-0 Lehi leads Stansbury in the 5A semifinals.
For over 25 years, Salt Lake Running Company has helped people of all ages and levels find the gear they need to start their fitness journey. From a free custom shoe fit analysis to a premium assortment of footwear and workout essentials, SLRC is a top 10 run shop in America. Locally owned, locally operated at 5 locations along the Wasatch Front, SLRC is there to help you gear up and get out. Visit a store near you or shop online at slrc.com.
Chapman coming off the field. It looks like a left leg injury. We hope it's not enough to keep him out of this game. The worst part of this is the injuries, and you never want to see it. Heart breaks for some of these kids who
all season
end up leaving a game for the last time.
Yeah, that's just, Chapman is a senior and been a big producer on this undefeated team, and you definitely want to be in and involved around a semifinal game, getting you to the championship.
Harris avoids the rush. He's got a first down or more. Finally caught by number 26, Blake Jenkins, but not before Harris gets the first down.
You can see why this guy has 1,000 yards rushing on the season from the quarterback position. You know, he avoids the rush, keeps his eyes downfield. So it's not like you can send a QB spy on him because you need to cover the receivers.
Harris empty back, a quick hit, down to the 35. So he finds Wilson for the completion. That'll create a short yardage situation, 2nd and 3. And now the Stansbury offense has some rhythm. Harris, the rush coming again, he gets it off.
Nice.
Wilson's open, can he get there? No, he cannot, it's out of bounds. Thrown out of bounds, Wilson could not get there. Harris had to get rid of it. Boy, they brought the house, Lehi did. They almost got to him.
Yeah,
he's under tremendous pressure.
This is what he should have thrown on the interception, yeah. High and outside. But this is interesting. The offensive coordinator has a scooter. He's on a scooter calling plays. Every man working, I tell you.
Oh, bad snap. Harris can't get to it. It's recovered by Lehi. Hema Katoa recovers the bad snap. And the Pioneers have another short field. That is 3 turnovers for the Stallions on 4 offensive possessions.
That is really unfortunate right there. Oh, and everybody just, it's a part of the game that's often not as dramatized or not, people don't pay attention that much, is the QB center exchange. You know, from shotgun to pistol to under center, it's all different tempos, and you have to be perfect every single time, or that could be the result.
Screen completed for about a 4 or 5 yard gain. That is Jace John with the catch.
Great job.
Not a surprise, but Brousseau's just doing an excellent job, just taking what the defense has given him.
Right. Great execution. He's going to hit short, but he's going to hit one of these deep balls here that's going to be prime and on the money. Hand off. Great push.
It was Gonzalez again on the carry. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 5. Just 1 yard on that carry.
Great tackle by Falasini-Vaki. There, he's got great push. Getting to the running back. He's been a havoc so far. Playing that nose guard position.
Rousseau in the pocket, fires in the middle. Caught again in the middle. Missed tackle. It's John again. Jace John with 2 catches on this drive. That moves the chains. No pressure on the quarterback he had all day, and found John in the middle. Again, they are attacking the middle over and over again.
Just look at the ball placement, though. Even these guys are double covered. Look at this ball. Right in there. Couldn't lead him inside because there was a defender inside as well. But the defender that was covering him was a little aggressive, and he was leading it, so he threw it to the back shoulder. Allowed Jace John to catch it, spin out. Production.
That brings us to the end of the first quarter. Lehi leads Stansbury 14-0 and driving once again. We'll have the second quarter right after this on Game Night Live.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs.
Simply complete an application on your phone or computer and select the low-rate option you prefer.
And then sit back and enjoy the peace of mind that comes from knowing you have a low-rate line of credit. Ready for whatever life throws at you.
To learn more or start your application, visit uccu.com or stop by any branch.
Scott Wild with Riverton Chevrolet, the Chevyweight champions, and we're proud to celebrate our 100-year anniversary by sponsoring Utah High School athletes through Game Night Live. Now back to JJ and Sly with this week's game.
Welcome back to Rice-Eccles Stadium. We begin the second quarter. Lehi with a 14-0 lead. They have the ball right now, 1st and 10 at the Stansbury 25. The story in this game is turnovers. Stansbury, 2 interceptions and a bad snap has made life a lot easier for this Lehi offense. They have been playing on short fields and taking advantage of those turnovers.
Yeah, no question. Stansbury hasn't even had to punt because they've been turning the ball over. You know, as you said, 3 turnovers just in the first quarter. That is havoc you're wrecking on your defense. You know, so your defense, you know, Dusty alluded to it, that this is more of a second half team. They definitely get in, make their halftime adjustments. But you still got to stay in it. You know, you get facing a team like Lehi that has the opportunity to put 70 points up in a football game. You got to stay in it from the jump, or it's going to be an insurmountable comeback in that second half.
Lehi talking some things over here. I don't know if they called a timeout.
Media break ran a little long, fellas. That's why. They were mistimed on that.
Always the media's fault, Dusty. Always the media's fault.
Guys, give you a little update. Look, it seemed as though Dylan Chapman, we should. They were doing on his knee, and he should be back.
That's great news. I see Dylan right now on the sideline walking around, so always love to see when a player gets nicked up and is able to come back in the game. Glad it's not serious. Brousseau. They try to bring pressure. It doesn't work. Wide open into the end zone. The tight end. Makahavea with the touchdown, and Lehi takes a 20-0 lead. We have an injury in the backfield for Lehi. One of their offensive linemen is down. We'll get to that in a second. Here's the replay. Makahavea open and finishes. that play. That's Hovea's second catch of the game. We have an injured Lehi offensive lineman.
It's like Ben Jepson, the guard center there. Got twisted up in that pass blocking screen, kind of jumbled everybody up there. Hope he's okay, because that was, again, elite protection.
Yeah.
Right? Elite protection by the running back and this offensive line. He gets up. Hope he's going to be all right there. Nice.
That's a good sign. Walking off on his own power. That is Ben Jepson, the senior guard center.
They saw on that play. It was interesting. We've seen the receivers. We talk about the inside breaking routes against man. On that last play, you saw Stansbury actually change it up. They actually took inside shade and ran a little combo route, and it was complete. It looked like a bust on the outside. Is that what you saw? The same thing?
Yeah, so that's what you do, especially in football fields like this. The hash marks are huge, right? You know, they are playing on the college hash marks now, not the wider high school hash marks. So you set those receivers inside, and as you said, the coach said that Stansbury plays a lot of man defense. So that gives a lot of opportunity for one-on-one matchups, especially those deep out routes, which is there. So the receiver set him up inside, and they ran a combo on the outside. The outside comes in on a post route, and the deep out route should come wide open. The whole deal is giving the quarterback enough time to let that route develop, and they did, and him throwing the ball right on the money, able to turn up and make a touchdown.
Maka Havea with the score, 21-0 Lehi. We got 11:52 remaining here in the second quarter. Still a lot of football. The Stansbury team is explosive. They can get back in this, but you don't want to give the defending state champs and the #1 team overall in the state a 21-0 lead early.
Oh no, 21-0 on Madden, you get off the sticks, right?
Yeah.
This is the semifinals, and we just understand how dynamic, how strong this Lehi football team really is. They are every bit of worthy of their #1 ranking this year in the football rankings. And you can see why. They're just dynamic on defense. They're dynamic on offense. You know, everybody contributes. Big offensive line. They win in the trenches. Coach Ed Larson has done a terrific job with this football team all the way around. And touchbacks. They're getting touchbacks. I'm so jealous.
Yes, they are.
You guys got to see Stansbury come out and run the football. Or if down 3 scores, but if you get a little pass happy, right side your time off and hand it back to an offense that's in rhythm, kind of puts you in a bind, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, for sure.
We saw it yesterday with
yeah, Bingham had that same issue.
Yeah.
Catch is made, driven out of bounds. Ooh, that little extra there is going to get the flag. Can't do that. Trent Jones with the catch. And things got a little out of control there for the Lehi defense.
Yeah, they're playing with a little extra there.
It's going to cost them 15 yards.
You know what's crazy is there's so many different coaching styles, right? There's coaching styles that like that, right? Like get into them. I love to see that aggression. And then there's coaching styles that be like, what are you doing? You got to be smarter. And so it's just like, honestly, I don't think there's a better one. I just think that you got to know your team and know what your team needs.
Harris going to hand it off. Halu past the 40. They would really like to get
him off, yeah.
Halu on the outside. He is tough to bring down. Special athlete.
Yeah.
He'll play on this turf in college someday.
Definitely getting him going is something that Stansbury wants to do.
Harris, play action. That's a catch. That Lehi defense was there quick. Another completion to Trent Jones. That's his second on this drive. So that brings up 3rd and 4. Harris He's got time.
Oh,
Cannot
great
complete
defense.
the pass. The coverage was there. It was outstanding. Hank Griffin, the cornerback, the senior, 5'11", 180 pounds. Hank Griffin
All over
said,
that.
not on my watch. That's going to force a Stansbury punt. We've still got 10:47 left to go in the second quarter.
Cadian Sweat, dynamic returner as well. We've seen him intercept 2 passes in that first quarter. He does damage on the special teams unit as well.
Nice high punt. Sweat's going to go over and get it. He's going to come back the other way. It turns the corner here. He's got room to run. Sweat past the 50. One man to beat was the punter, and he got him. Dylan Hamilton with the tackle, but not before Cadian Sweat brings it all the way to the 35, but as always, 95% of the time this happens, there's laundry on the field, and that's the case here.
It's crazy. Cadian made a crazy move. This was essentially a middle or right return, but they punted it all the way to his left. So he had to bring it back and set it up and let Stansbury overcommit and brought it out. It was just an amazing move and great read by Cadian Sweat. So that's what happens in those. You know, when the return is supposed to go the other way, but the ball's kicked the other direction, you get those so much because the returner's trying to get back into the return that was called, and you just don't have that leverage anymore. And so that block in the back happens often. I've gotten a few of those myself. To where it didn't feel like I was blocking the back, but it's just...
Right. If you think it's going one way and then it goes the other and you're not aware, it's easy to have that happen to you. Rousseau, a little too much air on that one, incomplete. Bring up 2nd and 10. Lehigh starting this drive at their own 19-yard line.
Instead of their own 40.
For the first time in this game, 40, they don't have great field position. They have been very fortunate because of these Stansbury turnovers to have short fields. Not that that really matters for their offense, but it's certainly going to make it more challenging. This Stansbury defense has been handed some tough circumstances here in the early going. Handoff up the middle. Gonzalez has got a big run here. And if it's not for that tackle, he might have had 20 more.
Yeah, because he had blockers to get everybody else, but this is a great read by him. Great feet, right? Great feet, great cut. Able to pick up a quick 13 yards on that run right there.
Bracken Matthews saves what could have been a lot more with the tackle. 1st and 10 Lehigh from the 34. They're impressive. They are a well-oiled machine, well-coached. A lot of veteran players. You look at that offensive line, and it looks like a college offensive line. Up the middle. That's Cadian Sweat. Actually, that's Devon Eka, number 27, not 21. Apologize, that is Devon Eka.
The freshman
with another nice run. Picks up 8 yards on the carry. It'll be 2nd and 2 from the 42.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if Devon Eka continues to develop, what he's going to look like as a senior here at Lehigh?
Coach Larson says all we got to do is get him in the weight room. We got to put some weight on him, and he's going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Rousseau going deep over the middle. Just a little bit too much. He was open.
Yeah, Coach Larson wants to make Devon Eka a project of his. He wants to make him, he said this guy has the potential to be outstanding, to have every college in the country looking for him here in about 3 or 4 years. So he wants to make sure that he achieves that and gets to that status. So Coach Larson's definitely going to be working with him the next few years to make sure that he has that status. But he absolutely raves about Devon Eka in this program. You know, he's second to Carson Gonzalez here. False start.
Penalty there. Back to Eka. For a freshman to be second on the depth chart at running back on the #1 team in the state, that That is all you need to know.
Right.
I mean, that's just so difficult to do. Freshmen just don't walk into a varsity program and become starters. It is a process.
Not
you
just
see,
any
you see
varsity
great
program.
players.
Right.
And I'll be honest, there's some great players on this Lehi team that are sophomores and juniors.
As at the running back position.
Yes. To be a freshman and to be in that position is just phenomenal. 3rd down and 7. Brousseau, plenty of time, no pressure. Now he's going to escape the pocket, and now he's going to go down. Stansbury gets to him finally. Number 56, Toby Johnson. He had to work hard. Took some patience, but he got there.
Yeah, great coverage in the back end.
Yeah, give some credit to that secondary for Stansbury. There was nobody open.
Now we have to remember the first time that Lehi punted, it skipped across the ground, so Stansbury might want to bring some pressure to see. Oh, it was better.
Better snap this time. They got that corrected. That is a low punt, but it takes a Lehi bounce all the way down to the 23, 22-yard line. That's where Stansbury will start this next drive, but the Stallions get a big stop and force the punt. Get their offense back on the field. Plenty of time here. Still 8:17 left to play second quarter. Waiting for this Stansbury defense to flash what they have all year. $8:17 left to play second quarter. Lehi leads Stansbury 21-0 in this 5A semifinal. We'll be right back after this.
It all starts with a smile. To show you care, offer a sign of love, welcome someone home. Even when we don't see each other, or share a room, even without words, smiles bring us together. Let's keep yours healthy. Stonehaven Dental. Schedule online at stonehavendental.com.
Mountain Land Power Equipment provides exceptional service and high-quality brands you know and trust in lawn, landscaping, and snow removal products. Our experienced staff of technicians repair all types of snow plows, snow blowers, lawn mowers, small engines, and is trained to answer questions about lawn, garden, snow removal, and landscaping products. Mountain Land Power Equipment, now with 2 locations to serve you in Salt Lake City and Springville.
We are back to Rice-Eccles Stadium. 8:17 to go, second quarter. The Stansbury Stallions have the ball after a Lehi punt, but they are down 21-0. 3 turnovers have really had a negative impact on their ability move the ball on offense. Here he goes, Ezra Harris wide open over the middle. Dylan Hamilton with the catch. They're going to say it hit the turf.
Well, he did a great job of looking off Katie and Sweat to the far side up top, opening up that middle. He's just got to deliver the ball, deliver a catchable ball to the guy, and he had room to run. Now, I don't think he would have ran away from Katie and Sweat, but he had room to get some additional yardage had that ball been a little more accurate.
So miss there for Harris. Quick pitch outside.
That's the Stansbury running I'm used to seeing.
Yep. Brock Wilson with the carry. He's going to get out to the 30. So that creates a short yardage situation on 3rd down. 3rd and 3. Stallions go quick. Now they're going to reset. He's got trips to his left. Wilson's the back. He's going to keep. He's going to try to fight to get there, and he does not get there. The pocket collapsed. Several Lehi defenders get there, and that's going to force another 3 and out.
And again, you know, this tempo, it can help you or hurt you. Like, they wasted no time off the clock, giving their defense no break against this talented Lehi offense. And so, like, this offense creating, giving away turnovers, and now getting quick 3 and outs. You're just putting this defense in very bad positions to defend Lehi.
Going to let it bounce, and Stansbury's going to down that punt right at the 43-yard line. Another short field for Lehi.
I mean, again, you know, you kick off to start the game for these reasons, right? If I can pin them back in their area, I get a 3-and-out or a turnover. You know, I'm starting at my own 40, 50-yard line, and I got a short field for offense. That's a strategy. That's why a lot of people ask, like, why does someone decide not to take the ball at the start of the game? For those reasons, create those advantages where you know you got a talented defense that can stop it, but an offense to work on a short field.
Ooh, nice hit. Wow.
Brock Wilson.
There is your introduction to Easton Baker.
Oh, Easton Baker,
I told
sorry.
you. If a guy comes around at about 50 miles an hour and hits you hard about 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage, you know it's Easton Baker.
Oh, man.
This kid is so good. Such a great athlete. Just a junior. He is lightning in a bottle. And you saw right there how fast he came in there and the hurt he put on the ball carrier. You're going to feel him every time you play Stansbury. Brousseau's going to roll right. And could not connect with the receiver. Kobe Moore was the intended receiver.
A slight question I got for you here is the last drive, Stansbury broke tendency and went zone. And they were able to get the sack because Jackson Brousseau had a long ball. Do you bring heat, go back to tendency, or you try to stay out of tendency and keep them off balance?
You got to mix it up. You got to mix it up. You got to go in between man. If Ed Larson is planning on you being in man the entire time and taking advantage of it, and you had success throwing in zone, you got to throw in zone 2 out of the 3 times on a drive, and then 1 out of the 3 times on another drive, hopefully forcing 3-and-outs.
They brought the heat this time, couldn't get to him. The catch is made right at the marker.
That was just too much time for Jackson Brousseau there. But Dusty, you got to mix it up. You got to mix it up the zone, because on that last play with the incompletion, they had zone running on that, and Jackson just couldn't find the open guy. But he's expecting man on a lot of these, and this is what's going to happen in college. He's going to have to understand his pre-snap reads and what the defense is giving him. But as Stansbury's got to continue to mix it up and continue not to allow Jackson Brousseau to sit back there and pick him apart.
Havea's having a big game, another big gain for him. He had the touchdown earlier.
Carson
Gonzalez finds a hole. He's close to the marker, just a yard short, a 9-yard gain for Carson Gonzalez.
Great stretch run right there.
Second down and 1. This seems like an opportunity for them to take a shot.
And not only that, Nisi Vaca had to come off the field, guys. That's their biggest defensive lineman, and he's barely got the field. So let's see if they get a shot or they could keep moving the chains on him.
Look out for a deep ball here. Now we got to stop and play. That's a delay of game.
Oh, wow.
Lehi took too long.
Coach Larson's arguing they started the clock early, guys. He's looking at the official right now. He's like, hey, come on, we went fast.
So 2nd and 6, that changes the situation. Let's see if they stick with what they were going to do. Brousseau, pressure's trying to come, and they don't have it. Right up the middle, Carson Gonzalez has it. All the way inside the 20, down to the 14, 13-yard line is where they're officially mark it. You saw it, Sly. Gonzalez got loose in there, and easy reception.
How are you not guarding the running back out of the
They
backfield?
sent too many guys.
Well, I mean, they got to have peel coverage.
Yeah.
Peel coverage, Brousseau doesn't even need to set his feet.
Up the middle again. Eka trying to work his way close to the goal line. He's been good in that role so far, giving Carson Gonzalez a rest, and he's just 3 yards short of the end zone.
He's just got great vision and speed in the hole. That's Just amazing job right there.
Always moving forward.
Yeah, just keeping his head low and trusting your old linemen to get their blocks and just creasing it right behind them. And you're going to pick up big yardage every single time. Great job by Eka.
Second down and 1. They can pick up a first down here. Brousseau and shotgun. It's a quick out. Gonzalez. He's got it into the end zone. Touchdown, Lehi. Carson Gonzalez for the second time today.
Speed to the edge.
And the Pioneers take a 27-0 lead.
What was the penalty? Dusty, what did you see down there?
Hey, I got vision. We're good. Almost old linebacking days came out against Lehi and take them out.
Got you.
I had to hold on.
You're not shying away from any contact, I see.
But we're going to have a personal foul penalty, potentially. There is some John on here, and we had a guy take a fall as well. So it's starting to get a little chippy.
You understand the frustration on the Stansbury side.
Yeah, it looked like whatever happened after the play. So the touchdown is good.
I think might be offsetting maybe. I don't know.
So it was not Stansbury. That was a Lehi player getting into it with somebody.
Talking smack after they won, after they scored.
Gavin Fenn will try to make it a 28-0 game with the extra point. Sorry, that's Nate Shepard. Nate Shepard will kick the extra point. Nate Shepard handles the extra points for Lehi. Here's another look at the touchdown.
Speed to the edge. Great play call. As I said, Carson Gonzalez has second to none speed right there, so you get him out in the wide open and just allow him to do that. And number 7 right there with a key block. Jace John decided to let the defender know, like, I blocked you, and I blocked you good.
You know how receivers are.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They don't make the best blocks all the time, but when they do, they'll let you know.
They let you know it.
Unless you're Steve Smith, he'll hit you no matter what. Steve Smith and Hines Ward, those guys at the receiver position, you do not want to mess with them.
So, pro Hines Ward or against the Hines Ward rule? Sly?
Say that again, sorry?
Are you pro Hines Ward rule or against the Hines Ward rule?
Which Hines Ward rule?
Which one?
Yeah, okay. He had a lot that was created on him.
Yeah. You know, he had the blindside block rule against Hines Ward.
The one against Ed Reed. I'm for it, you know, and that it's more for the safety of the game. You know, I think that defenders have the opportunity to do that to receivers, and if receivers have the opportunity to do it to defenders, I think it needs to be equal on both sides. So I'm more for it.
Due to the penalty, the Pioneers will have to kick off from the 25-yard line. So as good as Gavin Fenn has been kicking that ball through the end zone, good luck on this one.
This one will definitely be returned.
And it's an opportunity that Stansbury needs. They need an opportunity to make a play in this game to get themselves back in it.
Unless we see some kind of Justin Tucker type legs.
Fenn kicks it deep. It's going to be taken at the 10-yard line. Little reverse action here. Dylan Hamilton gets it out to the 45-yard line.
Nice.
And now you see the impact of it. You think, oh, it's just a silly penalty on it. At the end, it's going to be taken on the kickoff. Well, this hurts you.
Yeah, no question. And
you're giving the other team hope.
You're giving the other team hope because what you don't want to do, as Dusty said, this team can score. And I said this tempo helps them score quick. And if they can score quick, they can get back into this football game. I know this is a 28-0 deficit, but, you know, this is the playoffs, man. You can't give anybody hope. You don't want anybody to set any records against you, right?
3:43 to go in the half. Harris flushed out of the pocket, trying to find somebody open that's not there, so he's going to run down to the 50. It's a gain of 5. It's a positive gain. They'll take it on first down.
Got to keep his eyes downfield here. Great production, great pickup on first down, though.
Isaac Terrell with the tackle.
He's got 3 minutes left in this half. He's got to go.
Hamilton in motion. He's going to hand it off to Hamilton. Hamilton turns, finds a hole, got a first down.
Got to go because Lehi starts with the ball in the second half, so you got to get something. Field goal, 7 points. You got to get something to end this first half.
Lehi will get the ball first to open that second half, to stress what you're saying even more. They've got to have points here. Under 3 minutes to go first half. Harris, another handoff.
That's coming back.
That's a nice run, but there's a flag on the play. Brock Wilson with a nice run, about 7 or 8 yards, but there's a flag back at the 45-yard line. Emma Katoa on the tackle.
This doesn't help you.
That will push it back their own 45. And it's going to be 1st and 23. Clock starts. Wilson on the carry, didn't get much. Isaac Terrell again. That's 2 tackles on this drive.
He's got J.J. Watt vibes. This guy is all over the place.
He's a next-level player.
He is a force.
It's a commit of Washington State. Harris scrambles past midfield. He's down.
Almost back to the original line of scrimmage. Timeout Lehi. Lehi wants that ball back with some time to put some more points on the board there.
So unless Stansbury decides to go for it on, well, we're at 3rd and 16. I apologize. I'm getting ahead of myself here.
Yeah, the penalty.
Getting ahead of myself. It is 3rd down and 16. But you're right, Lehi it's obvious what they're doing here. They're trying to stop clock so they can get that ball back and try to get some points here before the end of the half. 2:04 left to go in the second quarter. Lehi 28, Stansbury nothing.
Hey guys, you got to think here. This is 2-down territory, no matter what, right? I mean, they're going to take a timeout, no matter what. If you're Stansbury, you're not putting this ball. But
I don't know. I don't know about that.
You don't think so?
Well, I would. There's 2 minutes left in the game, and you don't want them to get more points. But if I can pin them down with 90, 95 yards to get a touchdown instead of 50.
If you're inside the original line of scrimmage, do you punt it?
I almost would say yes. The way this first half is gone, I would say yes. Because you still got 10 yards to get a first down.
Let's see what they can do here. The blitz comes. Harris avoids it for a moment, but then he's going to go down. He's sacked. Isaac Terrell is there. And a lot of other friends. Camden Williamson was there.
Yeah, you definitely got to punt this ball now. But
you're definitely punting now. So yeah. I take back what I said.
Yeah, Lehi is playing with their hair on fire.
Well, the reason we're having this conversation is because we can all feel the desperation. You're down 28-0
in the semifinals
against the number 1 team in the state, and Lehi gets the ball first to start the second half. And, you know, what are you looking at there? You know, you're kind of in a tough spot either way, whether you decided to go for it. Obviously, it's not realistic to go here on 4th and 20, but it just goes to show that, you know, we all see the situation here.
Yeah,
they've got to see it as well.
But you also can't just keep standing in quicksand.
You're right.
Right? You
You're right.
Can't just keep burying yourself by giving your opponent a short field, yeah, I may complete it, but what if I run the route a yard short of the first down?
Yeah.
Right? Or just incomplete pass. They get the ball inside the 50 here. And so that's just something that you can't afford, can't risk. Even if they did get back to the original line of scrimmage, as Dusty asked, I don't see it. You know, that's still less than 60 yards for them to drive down the field with 2 minutes to go with a D1 quarterback at the helm. I don't see you doing that.
Dylan Hamilton, the punter, he will punt to Cadian Sweat, who is one of the most dangerous return men in the state. He's going to give him a chance here at the 30. Ooh, nice special teams play. The tackle made. I believe that was Mason Price in the tackle.
But Dusty, this goes back to your point here. You need to have somebody kick the ball well too. That was not a good punt. You got to get some hang time. You got to kick it deeper than that. I mean, he kicked the ball essentially 25 yards there. Good thing for the great tackle. But if he didn't make that great tackle, I would have went for it if that was the case.
Cadian Sweat with some momentum like that is a dangerous thing. That's a scary thing for the other team. Lehi will start this drive at the 32. 1st and 10. Rousseau again, plenty of time. Wow. Wide open. The catch is made. Past midfield.
If they're playing man coverage, they are just way too loose. And then again, look where they're at. With one play, they're back where the line of scrimmage was for Stansbury. So it was just like nothing happened. But they made a substitution here. They got to give the opportunity.
Isaiah Mama with the catch. Rousseau again. Going to go short. Carson Gonzalez can't handle it. Incomplete pass. That will stop the clock with 1:22 remaining. And now we got some pushing and shoving down here. The offensive linemen are getting after it. They have to separate them. So things getting pretty testy out there. These teams very familiar with each other. This is a rematch from last year's semifinal. A lot of these same players playing each other again, and here we are. So cooler heads prevail there. They get it sorted out. We're back to the action. 2nd and 10 from the 47. Rousseau's going to roll right. Tries to find a spot there, just overthrew it. It's going to stop the clock. It's going to make it 3rd and 10.
Jackson throwing to his younger brother, Grayson. Met their dad, and I don't know if I can meet a happier father.
How about that, man? Could you be more proud?
Both of your boys is about 6'5".
He was a D1 goalie, Sly.
Right? both of them are big guys. I think Grayson's just a junior, so he's got another year, but
Jackson flushed out of the pocket. We got a flag.
Oh, that's considered a sack? Yes.
It is. He's down. That is a sack.
So do you decline this penalty? Or because the clock will keep going if it's a sack.
Now, if you're Stansbury, you take the sack, right?
I don't know. Actually, I would take the penalty. Because that's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
They got to punt anyway.
Right. Well, I mean, from the spot of the foul, you push them back.
That's what they're going to do.
Yeah. Right. So I would take that because all Lehi's going to do here is run a screen. This is just going to be a tight end screen or a tunnel screen to the receiver or a running back screen to Carson Gonzalez, or it looks like Devon Eckes in the game.
Ezra Gleed did a great job in getting to Brousseau there, but that sack is erased from the record book.
They're going empty
as they take the penalty. Brousseau in an empty backfield. 3rd and 26. Catch is made by the tight end. Once again.
So
Maka Havea.
Stansbury going to call a timeout, or are they going to let this roll? You got 3 timeouts. You got to do something.
Yeah, what's Stansbury going to do?
It took forever to call
finally
the timeout.
took it. They lost a little time there.
Yeah.
So they're going to take the timeout.
Lost about 12, 13 seconds.
They do have 2 left after this. They'll get the ball back. Let's see what they can do with it. 46 seconds. They have the explosive offense and the playmakers. They just haven't shown it today. And you got to give Lehi a lot of credit. That defense, as we know, is elite. Students here having a great time. You know why they're so excited, Sly? They're not in class. Get a Friday off.
Oh, man.
Hey, that's a nice reward. Your football team earned you a free trip to Rice-Eccles Stadium.
No question. That's why you come to these games. Make sure we can get some days off of school.
Absolutely.
And Lehi's looking they're going to go for it.
Oh, wow.
So Lehi is going to go for it unless we see a pooch punt or something from Brousseau.
I mean, why not? You haven't seen anything from the Stansbury
Well, it's
offense.
interesting because if you don't get it here, you do give Stansbury a short field with 48 seconds. He's going to back up and punt this. There's no way they're going for this. Brousseau with the pooch, and it's just going to bounce right there. The 20, that's going to kill some clock. That runs it down under 40. They're going to finally blow the whistle with 36 seconds left, and Stansbury's going to have to go 79 yards to get into the end zone. We'll see if they can get into some kind of field goal range just to get some points on the board, but it's going to be tough.
Here's my thing is, even if they had went for it, you know, what has Stansbury done to make you feel threatened?
No, it's fair. They're going to have to make some adjustments at halftime.
Well, we'll check that second half theory from Dusty here about the Stansbury offense in the second half.
Harris.
Oh
no, he lost the ball.
Oh,
Lehi's recovered it inside the 10. Turnover number 4, and at the worst possible time.
And the worst possible place.
What a nightmare this is for Stansbury. He just lost it right out of his hands.
Setting up a screen here. Oh, that's the thing, the screen wasn't even open.
Wow, the Pioneers have plenty of time here. First and goal from the 9. And I'm going to remind you again, Lehi gets the ball first to open the second half. This is devastating.
Yeah, this much-anticipated matchup has just been, it turned into a rout.
Brousseau flushed out of the pocket. Gonna fire, catch made, touchdown Lehi. How about this? Have yourself a day, Makavea. His second touchdown of the game. And the Pioneers are running away with this. 34-0.
I mean, this is too easy. You can't give them the ball on their own 8-yard line and expect them not to attack. Ed Larson knows what it means to these seniors, what it means to Jackson Brousseau. Let it go, let it fly.
So Makavea coming into this game, 20 catches on the year, 172 yards and 4 touchdowns. 4 touchdowns the entire season. He has 2 on the turf of Rice-Eccles Stadium.
It's got to be
in the 5A semifinals.
Something about the turf here. Look at this, directed traffic on the run, delivering a perfect ball to Makavea. Jackson Brousseau setting himself up to go to the state championship again.
35-0.
Guys, it means that we start with a running clock.
That's what I was going to say, Dusty. I just thought about that. When the second half starts at 35-0, you got a running clock. So that makes it even more difficult for Stansbury to make this run, right?
No question. That's why we said it's like, yeah, they may be a second half team, but they got to keep it close. But this offense has done absolutely nothing to help them out. Is that 5 or 4 turnovers?
4 turnovers, the 3 picks, and then well, sorry, is it 2? No, it's 1 fumble. We have so many turnovers, we're having a hard time keeping track. And 3 picks in the fumble. 17 seconds remain. See if Stansbury just takes a knee here. They need to get into the locker room and make some adjustments.
I would take a shot to make my receiver catch it and run right into the locker room.
That would be ideal for them. Not going to be easy against this defense. They are going to run it. That clock will burn out. What a half for the Lehi Pioneers. 35 points. It's 35-0. They take advantage of 4 turnovers by Stansbury, 2 interceptions by Katie and Sweat alone, and the Pioneers look every bit the #1 team in the state. They are rolling here in the 5A semifinals as we head to halftime. The Pioneers will get the ball first in the second half with a running clock. For Stansbury, they'll try to make some adjustments, try to get that electric offense off the ground, but it's been a challenge against that defense of Lehi. They've been good all year. So we'll head into halftime. We'll be back here in 15 minutes. The KSL Sports Rewind guys are standing by with the KSL Sports Rewind halftime show. 35-0 Lehi.
Welcome back into Rice-Eccles Stadium. Dusty Litster, Dane Stewart, Jeff Hansen, and Brian Brown. And guys, there is no air in this stadium, at least on this side of the field anyway. 35-0, the reigning 5A champions. Dane, you know what this is? Our first ever state tournament here, Logan versus Hurricane. Remember that? They were both undefeated coming into that day, and Riley Nelson threw for like 7 touchdowns in that game.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much uncustomary going on in this game, right? It's a first half of Lee highlights. And look, I mean, you have Stansbury come out. I love they're trying to send a message early. Problem is, message did not send. And, I mean, Katie on Sweat, what a first half. Couple interceptions, 21 points off turnovers for Lehi in that first half. Really sparked everything. And to your point, Dusty, it completely took all of the air out of the room.
Yeah, this looks like a Stansbury team that's just shell-shocked right now. They don't know what to do about it because I don't think they expected all these turnovers and all these miscues. You know, we talked about Ezra Harris. He's been so good all year long. That was a really hard first half for him. And on the flip side of it, Lehi has done everything that we expected him to do. Defense has been outstanding. Katie on Sweat has been great. Jackson Brasillo has been efficient, and this offense has just marched down the field. As you see, Lehi has just run over Stansbury.
How about the freshman, Devon Ika? Yeah. I mean, we knew Gonzalez, right? Yeah. And Ika has been just terrific in spots.
Yeah, I mean, everybody on Lehi has been terrific. They've kind of, you know, the only thing that's really set them back so far is a couple of kind of dumb personal fouls, you know, late hits, things like that. That's the only thing. I mean, everything else has gone Lehi's way. The problem, we talked about how much this game meant for Stansbury and how they've had this circled all year long. The problem with that is if you come out and you get punched in the mouth really quickly, then it's like, whoa, we've built up this voodoo hex doll that, hey, this is it. This is our bar. This is our bar. Well, Lehi's good. You knew they were going to punch, and if they punch and you think that's the bar, maybe you think you can't get over that bar. And after that first drive, after the second touchdown is when it started to feel tangible. Yeah. That when Stansbury went down 14-0, it was a different team at that point.
You know, one of the interesting things, I want to go back to the first touchdown for Lehi because it comes off the turnover, right? We all saw this run. This is a very well-executed run. Yeah. We're going to get another look at it from the field, but I want you to pay attention to the blocking from the offensive line, and we'll particularly look at Danny Hoyle. He's the center. Going to get my little telestrator out. Check him out right here, right? So there's our center. Whoa, follow him on the play here. Watch Hoyle and what he does. Second level, that's Givajon out of the play, and look at that back cut. And when you take out the linebackers of this Stansbury defense, we talked about it in the pregame, right, how good their linebacker, that second level was. When they're getting run over like that, like Danny Hoyle just did, it's going to be a long day, and it's what has set up a lot of these touchdown runs and success for Lehigh.
I had no idea we could do that. What else can I circle? What else can I point at?
You know who else is our Danny Hoyle? Vince Francis is Danny Hoyle.
Hey, look, I had a, I promised I'd name my first child after Vince after that one. So anyway, Vince Stewart, it's got a ring.
I noticed that nobody gave me the pen. Yeah. There must be a reason for that.
But guys, I mean, really, we totally planned to come here at halftime and talk about, oh man, the tempo of Stansbury, the tempo. I tell you one thing that changed: the 2 interceptions from Katie and Sweat. Ezra Harris does not look the same. No. He sees number 21 everywhere he goes. He thinks Katie and Sweat is there. He's not thrown the ball over 10 yards since the second interception. Yeah. I've watched him talk with his coach. He's like, I didn't think he'd get there. Yeah. It was almost like Peyton Manning with Ed Reed. Remember that one? Ed Reed baited him and he caught it. Like now he sees 21. He's everywhere.
He's seeing ghosts, right? I mean, and that's what it is. And that ghost,
I didn't want to go Sam Darnold.
That ghost is named Kadeon Sweat. This is not who Ezra Harris is. No. I mean, we saw Jackson Brousseau play a pretty terrible game last week.
Yeah.
This is that game for Ezra Harris. This isn't who he is as a quarterback. We haven't seen this all year long from Ezra Harris. The one thing that I think that we have to talk about, Matiaki Helu is not helping. No. I mean, he is getting help every time he goes onto the sideline. They pull him up on the table. They're stretching him out. He's dealing with leg injuries, knee, ankle, hamstring. I mean, everything. So I think on defense particularly, that's played a big role because you watch this Lehigh offense, what they've done is they've tried to isolate Easton Baker to one side of the field, and then everything else, it's that offensive line. You highlighted it, Dane. That offensive line is going after Givejohn. So you take Baker to one side, and you throw everything you got on Givejohn on the other, and there's a lot of open running lanes. There's a lot of open receivers. It's been tough.
Well, Ezra Harris isn't the only one that's seeing ghosts, too, is that Stansbury secondary is seeing Lehigh ghosts everywhere, and they're confused, and they're confidence is such a huge part of sports, especially at the high school level, and all the confidence. I talked a lot about momentum yesterday. It's confidence today, and it's all with Lehigh. There's not a lot of confidence in what they're doing as far as Stansbury. So if they get a chance to go in at halftime, settle down, and remind guys what your keys are. You know, I saw Easton Baker on multiple times telling guys, like, pointing out, like, fellas, like, this is not hard. Like, you just need to stay with your assignment.
The deep post out route has been a killer in this first half. We talked about it. Ed was going to find that thing and just keep beating it. Yeah. That's it, because right now it's 15, 20 yards at a time. And going back to Ezra Harris, he only threw 8 interceptions this year, 8. 38 touchdowns through the air, 10 on the ground, almost 50 touchdowns, right? 8 interceptions. This is not Ezra Harris. And you want to talk about seeing ghosts. Fumbles. He's got 2 fumbles. They've lost them both. That one late in the half, I mean, that's just a backbreaker. The ball jumps out of his hand, right? This is not what we have seen all year from Stansbury, and I don't think anyone in this stadium expected this.
No, it certainly did not, and I thought it was really, really interesting when you saw at the end. I think the biggest turnover was the bad snap, right? You got a penalty that helped him get going. They finally get some offense going. Boom, bad snap on a 3rd and 3, which was the biggest play because, hey, it's 2-down territory. We're going to get a chunk, a piece of it, get a chance maybe 4th and 1. When that ball goes sideways, I mean, it just really came undone. And
Coach Brown, what's your message to Stansbury?
What is your message there? Because a running clock, too.
Yeah, and that's the hard part about it is you're really up against it if you're Stansbury. Like, you have to remind your guys of where they've been this year, who they are, right? Because right now their confidence is fragile, their psyche is fragile. It's not one of those times where you go in and yell and throw things and scream and tear up a locker room. This is a team that has done it all year long. You have to remind them that, listen, everything went bad that could possibly go bad in the first half. It doesn't matter anymore. You have one half of football left in your season. What do you want to do about it? What's going to be your legacy? Yeah. And you come out and you fight, forget the mistakes, just play, do everything you can to get back into this thing. Maybe you get outside the running clock. We can talk about that in the offseason as long as we want, because I feel like it's really a disadvantage in games like this because that last touchdown shouldn't have been a touchdown, but
and Lehigh gets the ball to start second half, which
it's just a killer in that regards. But I think the other thing too is, as I watch this game, Lehigh's done something I haven't really seen all year. They've been able to sub between snaps.
Yes,
and that's been I think it's kept this defense fresh. I think it's kept Stansbury off balance because you're seeing different defenders, and that's a huge thing. If I'm an offensive lineman, and look, it starts up front. If I see a speedy guy, and then I see a strong guy, and then a speedy guy, and then a strong guy, it gets my head spinning.
Well, and how important is that first play interception, right? Because if you're Ezra, now you're taking extra time to read the defense. You haven't been able to get into that tempo. That's a great point. I didn't think of that.
Yeah, and it threw the rhythm off. And this is, we talked about it. Stansbury is a finely tuned machine, and all those cylinders have to be going. Cylinders have never even started firing.
They didn't put premium gas in the tank today.
The spark plug is not hitting.
Yeah, I think at this point, if you're Stansbury, you're throwing the baby out with the bathwater, right? I mean, you just take a bath it's a shareholders meeting. We saw what happened in the first half. It was ugly. So now just get rid of it all. It's all bad. All the bad is gone. You come out and it's all fresh, because the worst thing that can happen is the first half, right? I mean, it's not going to get worse.
It's not getting worse. And the clock's going to keep running no matter what we do.
Yeah.
So, speaking of clock, we're going to take a quick break. We come back with some final thoughts. We're going to go through what happened in the 1A championship, 2A, 3A, and get you ready. You're at halftime here in the 5A semifinals watching KSL Sports Rewind.
It all starts with a smile. To show you care, offer a sign of love, welcome someone home. Even when we don't see each other, or share a room, even without words, smiles bring us together. Let's keep yours healthy. Stonehaven Dental. Schedule online at stonehavendental.com.
And welcome back in. Dusty Lister, Dane Stewart, Brian Brown, and Jeff Hansen. We're all just enjoying the music. I think we're having a better time than the folks.
It's getting warm out here, too.
Oh, sun's out, guns out.
Oh, that's Hawaii right there.
No.
I am warm when you are cold.
Hey, how about something else that happened for the first time ever in state history?
I know where you're going.
Christian Academy are state champions in football.
Yeah. Man,
Put up some
congrats.
lights. Put up some lights to celebrate.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm the only one clapping. For
okay.
The
There we go.
I don't know what's happening.
That's where the championship check should go, right?
Yeah,
I mean, all these teams get huge championship checks.
Everything.
Yeah.
All the prize money invested into the lights.
Yeah.
No.
You were the champions.
I mean, but congratulations, Coach Ray Stowers.
Yeah.
He took our program. Here's the thing: when people get into the thing about that program was, I want to say bad
winless.
Words. It was in shambles when he took over that program.
Mid-season
shambles.
Yeah.
And not even mid-season, and as it was tapering off.
Yeah, really bad. So, but Coach Stowers comes in, rights the ship, gets things going, gets it put in the right direction. Here they are. Was it 2 years later?
Yeah.
2 years later. They were in the championship game last year. Get back and win it this year.
We like to do awards. There's still plenty coming, but certainly has to be on the best of the rest Coach of the Year candidate list, because what he has done there is unreal. And talk about third appearance in a state championship game, first ever championship, and in decisive fashion. Yeah. Awesome.
I don't know if we're going to have live look-ins of the 2A championship or not. Just throwing that out there. I don't think so. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. A little producing we did not do at halftime. But we got the 2A championship going to be coming up. San Juan versus Beaver. Dane had the best reveal of the picks of the day. I think that stole the show.
Now, I'm curious, Dane, did you have all that stuff for this show?
And was it on the whole time?
A big-time Beaver fan that
okay,
you just...
first of all...
When I picked you up, did you have that on?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've been protecting that slip of paper all day. And that goes back to a show several years ago, right, when I didn't pick Beaver. It's the slip of paper, man. Yeah. The hat, I had to disguise that all. There was a lot of planning going into that. Let me give you a fun fact. You guys ready for a fun fact?
I love fun facts.
All right. Fewest points that San Juan has scored this year was against?
Beaver.
35-27.
Trick question.
One possession game. And look, here's the other thing.
It was the 1 week you missed.
Yeah.
Bo Wheatley.
Yes. Sophomore. He's a sophomore,
He's a sophomore, yeah.
He does not have a glass shoulder.
It is Bodie, I know, but hey, for the sake of this show and coach, Bo Wheatley, I'm telling you.
Yeah. Not only did he get him a national championship in college, helped him in the NFL. Yeah. But anyway, but a lot of fun. And then 3A, we talk about Juab. And I want to say, we've been joking. They say Juab, but we want to say Wab. I always said Wab as a kid, too.
San Juan and Juab, and so, you know.
Yeah. But Juab and Morgan is going to be a lot of fun as we're kind of up against this, and then getting into the 4A, the all St. George championships will be interesting. But our next game will be Timpview and Orem will be back here. But normally I would say, hey, let's give some secondhand thoughts, and we're some thoughts we see in the second half. But yeah,
I think for right now, you talked about it, going out with a positive taste, right? A lot of seniors. This is your chance. I mean, you talk about Dylan Hamilton and Ezra. You talk about guys that have been there multiple years. This is your chance to go and really end your career. So what kind of taste do you want to have in your mouth when you walk off the field?
Look, I don't think it's going to happen, right? Like, nobody's expecting a comeback. But hey, go make history, Stansbury. If you're going to do it, it would be one to talk about.
They got to get it. I think it's 21 points, and then the clock will stop. We'll go back to regular
I was thinking
time.
17. It's around there.
I want to say it's Vince Francis is, he's got some stuff right now.
Okay.
Yeah, 21 points. They scored 2 touchdowns. If it's 21 or 35-14, clock goes back to regular timing. That is number one. Get in the end zone and then see if you can get there, because that's the only way this game allows them back into this one. But we'll be back with some post-game thoughts when this one closes. We'll be talking about who's going in to the 5A semifinals, and we'll get you ready for Game 2 today, and we'll give you updates of what's going down in St. George. But we'll send it back up to JJ and Sly, get back to the sideline. And these guys, we're all toasty anyway, but you guys will get back and enjoy the tower as well. But you've been watching the halftime show here with Game Night Live Rewind, or pardon me, KSL Sports Rewind on Game Night Live. Let's send it back up to JJ and Sly.
It all starts with a smile. To show you care, offer a sign of love, welcome someone home. Even when we don't see each other, or share a room, even without words, smiles bring us together. Let's keep yours healthy. Stonehaven Dental. Schedule online at stonehavendental.com.
Understand that life is full of surprises.
Wonderful surprises.
Expensive surprises.
There it is.
In fact, we've seen it a lot.
Our daughter just got into Harvard. I got into Harvard.
We have to pay for Harvard.
I mean, we don't even have a history of twins in our family.
Much less triplets.
Yeah, I figured I could remove the satellite dish myself.
So now we figure we'll hire a professional to fix the roof.
The point is, there's just no way of knowing when something unexpected is going to happen. See?
But with a home equity line of credit from UCCU, there's no need to worry, because you'll be ready for whatever life throws your way. Here's how your home equity grows.
Over time, the value of your home goes up. Meanwhile, as you make payments to your mortgage, the balance you owe on your home goes down. That space in between is the equity you have in your home, and it belongs to you.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees, no closing costs, and no surprises.
As in zero, zip, zilch.
Just to be clear.
Simply complete an easy application on your phone or computer and select the low-rate option you prefer. Opening a home equity with UCCU is so easy. You don't even need to visit a branch.
But you always can. You can also call us, text us, or send us an email.
UCCU experts will communicate in whatever way you prefer, and we're always happy to provide the personal assistance you need. It's what we do.
It's what we do.
What they said. You'll also get your very own home equity Visa card, giving you instant access to your equity. Anywhere, anytime.
Like we said, easy.
So you can finally finish your basement and raise the value of your home.
Or pay off your credit cards and get out of debt faster. Nice.
Or simply enjoy the peace of mind that comes from knowing you have a low-rate line of credit ready for a rainy day. It's your equity, so it's entirely up to you.
That might be the best part about having a home equity line of credit with UCCU. Knowing that it's there when you need it, even if you never do.
We are ready to get the second half started here on Game Night Live. 30 seconds away from kickoff. A few stats from the first half. Pure domination. 305 yards of total offense by Lehi, just 59 for Stansbury. Of course, the turnovers play a big role in that. Carson Gonzalez had 82 yards rushing first half and a touchdown. Also a touchdown receiving. Gonzalez 56 yards receiving and a touchdown. Of course, Kadion Sweat with those 2 interceptions in the first half. Those were big, 2 of the 4 in this game. Makavea has been huge in the pass game for Lehi. 5 catches, 69 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jackson Brousseau was fantastic, 13 of 20, 180 yards and 3 touchdowns. But of course, the story in that first half, the turnovers for Stansbury, 4 of them, 3 interceptions and a fumble. And that's why they've only had 59 yards of total offense. 35-0 the score. Stansbury will kick off to Lehi. We'll have a running clock until Stansbury can get some points on the board here. That'll make it even more difficult for Stansbury to complete this comeback, with Lehi getting the ball and the ability to kill clock right out of the gate. So here we go, second half underway, a short kick. Lehi fields it and gets near the 40-yard line. Surprise, surprise, Sly, another short field for the Lehi Pioneers in this game.
Well, honestly, I don't know why. If they're going to do short fields, I'd start this onside kick game early. Let's try to get this ball back into the hands of Ezra Harris. You know, we've had some turnovers. It's been unfortunate. But if this second half can get turned around for us, let's get this ball back as soon as we can. Because as you said, you know, Lehi has an amazing running game. And with the running clock, that's all they're going to do.
Brousseau, plenty of time in the pocket, going over the top in the middle. It's caught, oh, tipped away.
Great defense.
Excellent play. Excellent play made by number 8. That is Brock Wilson. He's made several plays in this game.
Yes, he has. Offensively,
well, if he doesn't get
defense.
that.
Like that was, I think the receiver thought he was so open, he didn't even feel the defender because he was sneaky fast right here.
Brock Wilson saves a touchdown.
Knocking the ball out, getting his hand in the breadbasket. That's what you got to do. If you don't have an opportunity to intercept it, make sure that you put your hands in between where the receiver's hands are to catch the football and knock the ball out like that.
Brousseau hands it off. Gonzalez breaks the tackle, but doesn't break that one.
Again, that there was Easton Baker coming up with the hit. As you said,
Easton Baker knows how to put a hit on.
This guy's aggressive.
Hey guys, quick note, let you know, no more Matiaki Helu. He is not going to be playing in the second half.
That is a big loss for Stansbury. Their comeback gets even more difficult. Lehi on 3rd and 6. Brousseau. That is knocked away.
Great defense.
So the Stansbury defense does their job. They're going to get a stop here and get the ball back as Lehi will punt. Kobe Moore, the intended receiver.
Again, this is a running clock, so Stansbury's going to have to score quick to get it to stop to get back into their favor. But they did a great job of stopping the Stansbury offense, getting a 3 and out here.
Fair catch. Dylan Hamilton makes that catch right at the 25-yard line. So that's where the Stallions will start this drive. And they're going to have to come out here with some urgency. We mentioned earlier in the broadcast, they put up a lot of points this season. They have 2 games where they scored 70 points. They have the ability to rally in this game. Their defense got to stop, but it's got to start now. The offense has struggled badly in this game. You got to give Lehi a lot of credit, but 4 turnovers.
It never.
There's been execution issues for sure.
I think you got to be Corner Canyon in order for you to make that work.
Catch is made. Trent Jones again. There's multiple catches in this game.
Yeah, I think Corner Canyon is the only one that can really make that work. They had 4 interceptions in their game yesterday. Still came out and pulled out the win. So, false start. I don't know what he said exactly. Illegal formation, illegal start.
Snap infraction.
Snap infraction.
Got you.
5-yard penalty. Harris had as many interceptions, well, almost as many, 3 as he had completions, 4 in the first half. They got to get this pass game going.
They have to. It's the only way. Especially with Helu out for this second half. You're not going to be able to run the ball. So Ezra Harris is going to need to get a lot more accurate throwing the football.
3rd down and 9. Harris in the pocket, plenty of time. Now he's going to scramble, and he's in trouble.
Yeah.
He's going to get to the 30 before he's taken down.
That's not going to get it done.
That clock continues to run. We're down to 8 minutes already. That's the issue with the running clock is
no matter what you do, step out of bounds or whatever,
it don't matter.
It's going, and now you're got to punt. Watch the fake punt here.
Using that wide punt formation. Hamilton gets it off. It's going to bounce to the 45, roll down to the 40, and go out of bounds. And that's where Lehi will start this drive. Another short field for the Pioneers. They have been given many a gift with the field position. They have won that battle handily today and certainly played a factor. We're going to take a timeout. We'll step aside. 35-0. Lehi leads Stansbury in the 5A semifinals. We'll be right back after this.
For over 25 years, Salt Lake Running Company has helped people of all ages and levels find the gear they need to start their fitness journey. From a free custom shoe fit analysis to a premium assortment of footwear and workout essentials, SLRC is a top 10 run shop in America. Locally owned, locally operated at 5 locations along the Wasatch Front. SLRC is there to help you gear up and get out. Visit a store near you or shop online at slrc.com.
This is Scott Wild with Riverton Chevrolet, the Chevyweight champions, and we're proud to celebrate our 100-year anniversary by sponsoring Utah high school athletes through Game Night Live. Now back to JJ and Sly with this week's game.
35-0. Lehi leads Stansbury. The Pioneers have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 40-yard line. A reminder, there is a running clock with the 35-point lead. The Pioneers will try to continue to bleed this clock. Gonzalez is taken down in the backfield. Outstanding play made. Number 54 on the tackle.
Yeah, Michael Givejohn.
Yep, that's Michael Givejohn.
The best last name. Well, one of the best last names. The number 9 with extra peppers.
Who gives a John? Nice tackle made by him. 35-0.
That's the thing about the running clock, even if it's an incomplete pass. You know, who cares? You don't have to run a 4-minute offense, right?
Exactly.
I can pass it, I can run it, I can take up all of the 40-second clock. I need to convert this this first down here, this 3rd down here, and the end be good to go.
That catch made by Brousseau. Grayson Brousseau, the tight end. Another catch made, first down.
Great catch by Jace John.
That's Jace John. John had 3 catches for 23 yards in the first half.
And picked up the first down and just drained this clock. It's already under 6 minutes here. This third quarter's going by pretty fast.
Brousseau in motion. Brousseau, the quarterback. He's under pressure. He's going to get rid of it and just throw it away.
That's crazy.
In the area of Carson Gonzalez.
If Carson catches that, he's gone.
I don't think he meant to throw it away, I should say.
Yeah, he had. Well, he's looking into the sun too, so that probably doesn't help for Jackson Brousseau. But if Carson Gonzalez catches that, he has 2 blockers and a D lineman trailing, who's probably not going to catch Carson Gonzalez. Yeah, there was a lot of open field there.
2nd and 10 from the 47-yard line of Stansbury. We're under 5 minutes to play, third quarter. Brousseau's going to hand it off right up the middle. Another first down. Carson Gonzalez. He loves playing on this turf at Rice-Eccles Stadium.
He
was special last year, and he's looking like it again this year.
Yeah, he was something special last year in this game. This Stansbury Lehi game, and then, of course, in the state championship.
Lehi has done whatever they wanted on offense today, and their defense has been lights out. Playing championship football right now. It's going to be tough to beat them. Tackle made in the backfield. Mason Maxwell with the takedown, the TFL. They tried to get Eka going there and wasn't working.
Continue to bleeding this clock, losing yards or whichever. You know, you got Jackson Brousseau with 15 seconds on the play clock, so you got to get this off here.
10 seconds on the play clock.
But as quick as they got out of the huddle, it looked like it'd be a run play.
2nd and 15 from the 40. They're going to go with Eka on the run. Devon Eka.
True freshman. And these guys are having trouble bringing him down, man. Eka he's a crazy talent. That is something awesome to see.
Going to get it back down to the 37. It's about 2 yards short of the original line of scrimmage, so it's going to be 3rd and 12. Coming up on 3 minutes left to play, third quarter.
So now this for Lehi, for me, this is 2-down territory, right? Because I go, clock still moves, so I don't have to pick up the first down on this third down here, but I got to get a chunk. I got to get about 7-8 yards.
Brousseau, plenty of time. Caught.
Right.
Are they going to give him the catch? They say it's incomplete.
But the clock still moves.
Incomplete.
So they might punt it here, or, you know, honestly, if I was the coach, I'd take a delay of game and then punt it. Delay of game will back you up 5 yards, and then you get to kill another 40 seconds, and then punt it.
And the clock will continue to run on the other side as well once Stansbury gets the ball. Clock's down under 5. 2, 1. That's exactly what they'll do. They'll take the delay of game penalty.
I don't think he wanted to take a delay game, but he ended up doing it.
See, Sly's influence is felt even when he doesn't mean it to be. You know, it works.
Oh, they
took
called the timeout. They did take a timeout.
Take the delay of game, coach.
That's an important timeout, you know?
All right. You're going to need these later, I promise you.
Uh-huh. So 2:09 left to play, third quarter. We're going to step aside and take a break. 35-0 Lehi leads Stansbury in the 5A state semifinals.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs.
Simply complete an application on your phone or computer and select the low-rate option you prefer.
And then sit back and enjoy the peace of mind that comes from knowing you have a low-rate line of credit. Ready for whatever life throws at you.
To learn more or start your application, visit uccu.com or stop by any branch.
Mountain Land Power Equipment provides exceptional service and high-quality brands you know and trust in lawn, landscaping, and snow removal products. Our experienced staff of technicians repair all types of snow plows, snow blowers, lawn mowers, small engines, and is trained to answer questions about lawn, garden, snow removal, and landscaping products. Mountain Land Power Equipment, now with 2 locations to serve you in Salt Lake City and Springville.
Back to the action, 4th down for Lehi. 4th and 12 with a 35-point lead. See if they try to run an actual play or pooch punt it. I mean, you don't really have anything to lose either way, right?
Right, I'd pooch it here. Unless there's something you're working on for a state championship, just pooch punt it.
Nothing to lose. Maybe they take a shot. I don't know. Interesting circumstance. Here we go. 4th and 12 from the 37. They're going to take a shot. He's got him.
Why not?
It's caught inside the 10.
Why not? Mama. Now Isaiah Mama is someone who Coach Ed Larson was like, we missed him for a good majority of the season.
Yeah.
But he said his talent is D1 potential for sure. He is one of those guys that you put in a route in the slot, and he can run any route. He is dangerous and so elusive. Coach Ed Larson loves this guy as well.
Mama is a sophomore.
Yes.
So you look at this Lehi team.
O-lineman, running back.
And they have all this talent. Seniors that are balling out. You got Katie and Sweat and Jackson Brousseau, who are just outstanding leaders. Most teams like this are just full of seniors. Like Lone Peak last year was full of seniors, except for Crew McChesney. This team has a lot of young players that are making positive contributions, especially on that offensive line. They're going to be stacked next year. Gonzalez to the 5.
Yeah, I mean.
And I'm telling you, they got a quarterback they really love. Jet New is their sophomore quarterback.
Yes.
He'd be starting for a lot of schools around the state. He's had to sit back and watch Jackson Brousseau, one of the best high school quarterbacks we've seen here in the state in the past decade. And so next year, Jet New is expected to be the starter, and he's going to have 2 years to do his thing.
I mean, he's going to have 2 years with a stacked offensive roster, right? Like, this is awesome. I mean, Jace John, too. Jace John's only a junior.
Brousseau backing up, throws it up to the corner. Caught. Did he get it in the bounds? I don't think he did.
Oh, wow.
They call it incomplete, but that was a heck of an effort.
To Jace John.
Jace John made the catch, but could not keep his feet in bounds. It'll be 3rd down and goal from the 5.
Crazy throw right here. It's so hard to do, throwing to your weak side right there. But, you know, it's almost like you make it difficult to make the more elaborate catch.
Yeah.
But this team is definitely stacked. And
the 3rd quarter is over, so we will pick this up moments from now on the other side of the field at the 5-yard line. The Pioneers trying to punch in another touchdown. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back with the 4th quarter after this.
For over 25 years, Salt Lake Running Company has helped people of all ages and levels find the gear they need to start their fitness journey. From a free custom shoe fit analysis to a premium assortment of footwear and workout essentials, SLRC is a top 10 run shop in America. Locally owned, locally operated at 5 locations along the Wasatch Front, SLRC is there to help you gear up and get out. Visit a store near you or shop online at slrc.com.
It all starts with a smile. To show you care, offer a sign of love, welcome someone home. Even when we don't see each other or share a room, even without words, smiles bring us together. Let's keep yours healthy. Stonehaven Dental. Schedule online at stonehavendental.com.
Fourth quarter action beginning now in the 5A semifinals. Lehi on top 35-0. They have dominated this football game. And that domination continues. They are 5 yards away from another score. We have a running clock right now with a 35-point lead. Pioneers are 12 minutes away from a return trip to the state championship game where they'll have a chance to once again defend their title. They were the champions last year. Currently the #1 overall ranked team in the state. Yes, that's ahead of Corner Canyon and Skyridge. They beat Corner Canyon this season in a miraculous comeback. Down 24-0 at the half, they came back to win 25-24. A potential matchup with Timpview. Orem's going to have something to say about that later today, but they beat Timpview earlier this season in a comeback victory. Timpview, one of the best teams in the state, so Lehi has proven themselves against some of the toughest competition in the state. And now, 12 minutes away from having a chance to repeat, or having a chance to play for the opportunity to repeat as champs.
Yeah, this team has brought a lot of fireworks this season, beating Corner Canyon. If Ed Larson told me, he's like, if you could tell me that I beat Corner Canyon and Timpview in the same year, I'd slap you because I wouldn't believe it.
And no one was surprised.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, this team is so dominant, so great. And here at 5A, and they're making a case to be.
Throw into the end zone. Incomplete, but there's flags.
That'll give you a whole new set of downs right there. Yeah, they're making a case to be a dominant force even in 6A.
Yeah, we something to discuss during the offseason, but realignment is coming up again. And there'll be meetings about that, and there's certainly a possibility that Lehi could be a 6A team next year. Can you imagine them in Region 4, Dusty?
Sorry, JJ, I missed that. I kind of went in and out.
Can you imagine, well, you talked about realignment. Imagine Lehi moving up and being in Region 4 next year.
Well, yeah, and I think that's where you're going to end up seeing. I think you're going to create another one. If I had to guess, Corner Canyon goes in the same region with Bingham, and Lehi replaces Corner Canyon.
That would make a lot of sense to have the Utah County teams in the same region.
And I'd love to see you throw Timpview into that one too. But I don't think that'll happen. I'm standing here with Lang. I think you'd like to see Timpview go into Region 4.
Oh, nice.
Into the end zone for the touchdown. Lehi's having a lot of fun. Mays Madsen with the touchdown. They've got so many kids making plays today.
That was just a great play call right there.
Another sophomore, Sly. That is a sophomore scoring a touchdown in the semifinals.
Great play call right there, but great orchestration, though. The orchestrator there, the band director, he's doing a great job. Jackson Brousseau at selling the fake, selling everybody moving to the other side of the field. And Mays Madsen comes through on a motion, almost like an away zone, and just comes free on the other side because he gets against this man defense. They got caught up on other defenders as they're moving through. Great play call, great execution by Lehi. Now 42-0 in this football game. State semifinals 42-0.
This Lehi train just keeps moving. They are so powerful in every phase. 42-0. The running clock will continue. We're already at 10:45 left here, fourth quarter. Stansbury had a terrific season. Put up a lot of points. They were so much fun to watch this season. Another great year. They Coach Eric Alder's done such a great job with this program. They are a force in 5A. And, you know, Dusty, we talked about teams like Lehi moving up. I mean, when that happens, it opens up opportunities for some of these teams like Stansbury to continue to another level, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, you think about Stansbury, and it's interesting because if you look at that whole region, Region 7, it really could be 4A if you look at the schools.
Yeah.
And after the enrollment numbers there, it's why they ended up in 5A. And so once you move some of these schools up, that's part of the realignment, why they're doing it so often, every 3 years, is to hopefully parry that out. But it just gets super interesting when you try to break that up and you get a feeling of where the board is. But it would open things up for Stansbury, who returns a ton of talent next year. The Giva Johns are juniors. You got Baker is a junior. But you look at Lehi, I said someone tell me, they have 50 seniors on the roster. And there's some teams in 5A that don't have 50 kids on their entire roster.
It's crazy. And a tribute to what Ed Larson has done with this program, that you have a senior class of 50 kids.
Yeah, we did their senior game, and we're like, this is taking a long time.
It was crazy.
Well, that's after Skyridge's bill. So you think if you take Ed Larson in his first year at Lehi, they went 0-10 his first year in 2014. That's before Skyridge opens.
Wow.
So after Skyridge opens, all of a sudden a lot of success, and Skyridge is really good. And so you're in a heavy area of a lot of young families, and you have a couple other schools coming in that area too. So it's going to get really interesting to watch how often that alignment gets redone.
Man, yeah, Dusty is correct. Skyridge is awesome. Watching them yesterday.
Yeah.
They are, that whole area.
Imagine a Lehi-Skyridge rivalry in 6A. That would be
amazing.
A lot of fun, right?
You know, JJ, you remember this, and you look at Alta. Think about the old Alta team. Most of those kids would have been Corner Canyon kids.
Yep, exactly. The old Alta-Bingham rivalry was unbelievable.
And that was where JJ and I met, was right here on the sideline.
That's right.
Bingham and Alta, and I like, hey, JJ, I'm Dusty. You're like, I know.
I know who you are.
We know Dusty is there.
Dusty, it's crazy to see how the high school football in the state has evolved. And it's been over 15 years, right?
Yes.
You start at 2006, 7, 8, that Alta Bingham era, and you see how the state has grown since then, the high school football in the state, where it's not just Bingham and Alta at the top. You've got so many teams that play at that level that those programs played at 10, 15 years ago.
Well, and it's amazing, too, to see the turnover of those programs, right? So the game this reminds me of was the 2005 semifinal. It was Riley Nelson, Logan team against Turkin, both were undefeated, and there was no mercy clock that day. I mean, it was a long day for Hurricane. I think Riley accounted for all 9 touchdowns or whatever scored by Logan that day. But also, here's the other fun fact for you guys. If you take out East's run with Jalen Warren, that great run when they were 4A and then 5A, if you take that out, the last state champion in the largest classification in the state was in 2005. So if you take it north of 90th South, only one state champion north of 90th South since 2005, and it was 2005.
Wow, really?
It was Skyline that year. That's right. I remember that. Kind of the last blast for that Skyline era. You're right. Harriman won it 2015.
And they're south, Bingham South.
Yep. And that was
Jordan.
Harriman before the split with Mountain Ridge. So
if you want to take Jordan and say, okay, 90th South, we'll take Jordan. That's the only ones north. That was Eric Kerr with Cafensis.
What are they doing down south?
So much good football. North Utah County, Southern Salt Lake County, just great football, great coaches, a lot of participation. You're looking at Lehi, 50 kids in their senior class. The participation numbers, it starts with that. And you really have to go farther down. It's the Ute Conference. I'm going to give a big shout out here to Ute Conference.
Yeah.
It's such a great, well-run organization. And it gives these kids at a young age an opportunity to play high-level football with great coaching and a great program. And so by the time they get to be freshman and sophomore players, when they start high school football, they're ready and they're prepared.
Right.
And these schools have done a great job, most of them, in engaging in Ute Conference and being a part of that and being involved in their feeder programs at the youth level. And that has made a huge difference in the quality of high school football in the state. Both of these programs out here right now, I guarantee you, have great youth football programs. where a lot of these kids are being fed into, especially out in Stansbury.
Yeah.
I think the developmental stuff too, JJ. I mean, you look at Coach Ed Larson. He's been part of that away from being a high school coach, about being a developmental coach for quarterbacks. He and then Riley Jensen, and a lot of the specialization jobs and stuff that's gone on has been major here.
You credit the kids that are putting in a lot of work during the offseason. There's just a dedication to the game of football at this level in this state that's allowed it to grow to the point where it is today. Harris on the keep is going nowhere. Coming up on the 7-minute mark, left to play here in the fourth quarter. Oh, it is kind of fun, Dusty, to look ahead and see what high school football is going to be like in the future here. Some potential moves with realignment and what that could mean. And you mentioned seeing Corner Canyon and Bingham in the same region. I love that.
Well, you think of Corner Canyon, Bingham, Harriman, Riverton, Mountain Ridge. And I think there's another school going in that. The only area not planning on getting a school at the moment is Draper.
Little trickeration here. That's going to be intercepted. Nathan Anderegg, the senior cornerback, gets an interception in a semifinal game. Hamilton with the pass. Just well covered.
Just nothing going for Stansbury in this game. Just nothing. You can't pull out a trick play. You can't pull out a deep ball, simple play. Just nothing. We're going to Yeah, there's a little something between these teams. I think we'll get a look at backup quarterback Jet New, coming in here. They might give.
As we're talking about the future here, Sly. We're going to see some players here that are going to be part of that future. An opportunity you have in a game like this is to see some young players get some action that's going to help them in their development.
And we will. Jet News at quarterback. Devon Echo with the handoff.
Jet New is a sophomore quarterback, 6'3", 170.
And JJ, as you said, they are really hyped on him, saying that he's got tons and tons of potential. And being able to learn under the last couple of years of a guy like Jackson Brousseau, learns the tricks of the trade. So I think he's going to be a dominant force, especially with all these returning players to this Lehi football team.
I'm looking at that Lehi offensive line. This is their second team offensive line? Wait a minute.
50 seniors.
Look at the size of this offensive line. These are the guys. This is the JV? Are you sure?
That's what Stansbury's saying over here.
The future's bright for Lehi, there's no question. And Stansbury as well. Tackle made there by Easton Baker. Eka can't get much. I'll bring up 4th and 10. And the Pioneers will punt. We're now under 5 minutes left to play.
That was a quick series, but with the running clock still took 2 minutes off the clock. Good punt, good roll. Get the ball. You got to get that. Look at that. That's going to be
How about that? What did we, 5? The punt was from the 5.
65.
63-yard punt. Yeah, celebrate, young man. Absolutely.
That's how you flip the field right there.
You know what's more impressive? It was JJ doing that math.
Yeah.
Star Valley math is way better than Carbon County math.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
I round up, you know. So.
It's about.
You're wise to round up. That's a lot.
That's all I say. It's about this. I think it's about that.
Exactly, Dusty. If you throw out a math thing and say about or around,
approximately,
yeah, they're around.
You can't be wrong, right? We're going to take one final break here. 4:13 left to play in the fourth quarter. Lehi leading 42-0.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs.
Simply complete an application on your phone or computer and select the low-rate option you prefer.
And then sit back and enjoy the peace of mind that comes from knowing you have a low-rate line of credit. Ready for whatever life throws at you.
To learn more or start your application, visit uccu.com or stop by any branch.
For over 25 years, Salt Lake Running Company has helped people of all ages and levels find the gear they need to start their fitness journey. From a free custom shoe fit analysis to a premium assortment of footwear and workout essentials, SLRC is a top 10 run shop in America. Locally owned, locally operated at 5 locations along the Wasatch Front, SLRC is there to help you gear up and get out. Visit a store near you or shop online at slrc.com.
4:12 left to play, fourth quarter of this 5A semifinal. Lehi Pioneers with a 42-0 lead over Stansbury and a running clock.
Great blitz.
Over the middle, caught Dylan Hamilton. Down inside the 30.
Oh,
We've been waiting all game to see that. These two have done this all year long. 23 touchdowns
Look at this
for
blitz
Dylan
pickup.
Hamilton, and they finally connect here for a big game.
That was a great blitz pickup right there, giving the quarterback time to deliver the ball over the middle cleanly. Great job by that running back.
Stansbury goes fast over the middle. Incomplete. Looking for Wilson there, couldn't get him. So the Stallions trying to avoid the goose egg. We don't want to leave here in a shutout. Lehi obviously would like to protect that shutout. Defenses take a lot of pride in that. So let's see who wins out here. Harris. He's got a pocket. Ooh. Throw off his back foot and out of bounds.
I mean, how well coached is this defense? I mean, you got a second string in there and nothing's getting behind them. They're going to keep everything in front, even with the second guys.
I mean, the way he threw that ball away, I thought the defender was his receiver. I mean, these guys are all over the place, reading their keys, understanding that. I think they're doing basic defense right now, but their basic defense is great. Look at them pass off guys here.
But I also want to know what Katie and Sweat did to say, I got to stay in the game, though. He's the only one out there.
He's like, I got to pad these stats, baby. I got to get one more interception. The challenge is deep. I mean, this guy is just dynamic, and he shows it every single game. Every time we're on the field, the game we called for him, everything. This guy is just, he's electric and brings a lot of excitement to the football games. Look at him over there barking out calls. Just keeping everybody aligned.
Harris throws that quick. The rush was coming. So they'll lose the ball on down. So the Lehi defense is going to keep that shutout. With 2:18 left and counting here, as soon as the ball gets placed.
You run 3 plays here
on the change of possession, so we should be out of here shortly.
Yeah.
You never want to see games like this here in the semifinals, but you give Lehi credit for doing their job today. They are so impressive. They look every bit the team to beat.
Oh,
the
yeah.
defending 5A state champions.
Defense, offense, special teams, everything looked good today. These guys are going to be ready to go to fight either Orem or Timpview. They're showing their dominance and why they beat all the teams they beat this year, won the state championship last year. This is a talented, talented football team. Very exciting to watch. Oh, right off your chest muscle there. Say it with your chest. Drops that pass right there.
3rd down and 13 with 1:10 left to play.
Brecton Clemens had this ball. Could have picked up a 1st down here, but as you said, the clock's still rolling no matter what. So they'll run this 3rd down here. Hopefully take this all the way down to about 45 seconds. Run a play and potentially run out this clock. Yeah, take the delay of game.
That was an illegal substitution, I believe. Oh no, they're going to take a timeout?
I don't know why.
What are we doing here?
Stop taking timeouts.
I saw a substitution made.
Yeah.
And I
Hey,
think
you don't
they
want
had
to give
call
up those 5 yards, JJ. I mean, it's a big deal, right?
To a guy like Ed Larson, that makes sense. I mean, he seems like he would take that personally.
I will say this. I really appreciate the fact that they're trying to get some kids on their sideline in to have this experience, to get on the field and get a play, and that means a lot and it matters for those young men who work so hard.
Right.
And, you know, for these younger kids, you have them, they'll have this experience forever. So what seems like a odd timeout to us actually means a lot to some young men, or young men in particular, who's going to get a chance to be a part of this and get some action on the field in a state semifinal game. A kid that you may need a lot more from in the next 2 or 3 years.
You know, and for guys of us that are not like Sly, we needed moments like this.
I know, right?
You know, I remember a sophomore year being down 69-0 at Snow Canyon, and those are important moments for Dusty, young sophomore, get on the field. Hey, we're missing a line. Timeout, timeout, timeout. Blitzer, get out there.
Love high school football. We all have stories. That's what's so cool about it. We all have stories forever. Jet New trying to get the 1st down. The catch is made. Very close.
And that should be the final game, the final play. It's a little short, but that should be the final play.
Clock will run, and we should be done here.
Great job by Jet New, getting out of the pocket. Throwing a strike on the run.
We saw what Jet could do here a bit, and you see another year of development and time in the weight room, and we'll be able to see what he can do next year. But for now, the moment is right now, and about what this Lehi team can do right now, and they're going to get a chance to defend their title next Friday. 42-0, Lehi is moving on to the 5A state championship game. They get the shutout over Stansbury. Just a dominant performance by the Pioneers. Stansbury helped them a bit with some turnovers. But they did a phenomenal job defensively, did Lehi. Never allowing this offense to find any rhythm. We'll hear from the Pioneers here shortly. Dusty's efforting interviews. Sly, not sure we expected this today.
Definitely not. I didn't expect this.
But your reaction to what you just witnessed?
Lehi is a force. I tell you what, even I start thinking of the 6A teams. You know, we saw Sky Ridge yesterday and Corner Canyon yesterday, and I think Lehi can compete with those guys. You know, they are extremely talented across the board, all phases. They made a lot of things happen, and it was just terrific to see.
They got Katie and Sweat.
Let's go down, Dusty. You're standing by with Katie and Sweat, 2 interceptions today.
Hey, Cadian, first of all, man, talk about the ball hawking skills. What did you do or eat that the ball just attracted to you?
And I just, watch film, study hard. I saw when they came out against Olympus, they did the same thing, threw it to number 8 over top, and I was like, hey, man, they're probably going to try and start this game off fast and do the same thing for here. So I was already eyeing him down. Quarterback looked right at him. And there we go, simple as that. So just a lot of focus this week and a lot of studying and, paid off.
What about the second one? I mean, that was a little bit different. He didn't see you coming. You were able to undercut it and go get it.
That one was a little kind of more of a late play. Went a little bit longer, and I was able to break on the ball, get up there and get it. So that was good too. Yeah, kind of similar type of play. Just threw it up over there. So that was good. I was able to help out my corner and get over there.
I mean, this is a team in Stansbury who scored a ton of points this year, one of the better offenses in 5A. What does it say about your defense? You're able to put up a goose egg on them.
I feel like we have a really strong brotherhood type of defense. We all love each other very much and play for each other. So I thought it was great that we got out here and performed the way we should. And I think that we should be able to. That's a performance that we should expect.
No matter what, you get a region rematch. Does it matter?
We'll see. Both great teams. We're going to go in there. We're going to play our best. We're going to do what we can. We're going to try and have a performance just like this tonight. So.
Thank you, and congratulations, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Cadian Sweat, what a year he's had. I think you're looking at your first team All-State safety in 5A. I don't think there's any question about that. One of the best players in the state. He's able to impact the ball in ball game in all 3 phases. And he's going to get a chance to go play on this field one more time a week from today in the 5A state championship game. That really set the tone, Sly. I thought that was huge. Obviously, Stansbury had their work cut out for them today against the defending champs, but right out of the gate, first play of the game, interception. I think it really set the tone for the rest of the game.
Well, yeah, I mean, Cadian Sweat said it. He said, it reminded me of a play that we played against him, and quarterback was eyeing him down the entire time, and instincts.
Yeah.
From what he said, it's just instincts. This guy has amazing instincts and can read a room. He can read exactly what's going on from that quarterback pre-snap and how these receivers come off the ball with tempo, and he just lets his instincts take over.
Let's go down to Dusty with head coach Ed Larson.
Coach, last year's semifinals, you weren't pleased with how it went. Your defense throws up a goose egg on one of the top offenses in 5A. Are you pleased today?
Yeah, I just said I'm so proud of what our defense did. I mean, that's a heck of a football club we played against, heck of an offense. I felt like that was going to be the key today, was how our defense matched up against their offense, and I'm just proud of the way we came out. And, and then offensively, we didn't stutter as much. We had a couple of stutters there, but for the most part, I thought we played well enough to do the things that we needed to do to get better.
Cadian Sweat is such an important player for you guys. It's so interesting you say the defensive back is that guy, but it feels that's the case. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, he's the quarterback on the defense, right? He's the guy that makes sure everybody's lined up correctly. And then the energy he brings, the leadership he brings during the week is unbelievable. So, I mean, he's just one of those great kids that wherever he decides to go play next year, they're going to have not only just a great football player, but a great culture kid, a great worker in the weight room. He's just tremendous.
Carson Gonzalez continues to impress, and he seems to save his best for this stadium. And how sweet is it to watch 28 get after it?
Yeah, he's had the injury bug all year, and so we're glad to have him healthy and coming to do the things that we want him to do for us. So we're excited about that, to have him back at 100%.
Only one question about number 2. Do you have a lot of pluses or a lot of minuses to get ready for next week?
Well, you don't want to, playing quarterback for me is tough because I want to hold him to a standard of perfection. And so, he did what he needed to do, and we'll clean up what we need to clean up and just continually make him better.
Since 2014, when you took over an 0-10 program. This is your 3rd trip to a state championship. That's got to feel really good for you.
Yeah, we are just tremendous. The community, the school, the student body, the players, the parents. I mean, this is just a big effort that I don't think people realize has to go on to make sure the whole year handles the way it's supposed to. And to be put in this position at this time, it's just a tremendous feeling for everybody, and I can't be happier for my team and then my coaches, and I got to shout out to our wives who give us the time to do this, this what sometimes it's called a boys game, yeah. And then our community, man, this is great for Lehi and our fans.
Well, Coach, congratulations, 3rd trip, back-to-back years.
Thank you,
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it. Back up to you, JJ.
Dusty, thank you. That's going to wrap things up for us here on Game Night Live. Sly and I'll be back in an hour with the second 5A semifinal between Orem and Timpview. For now, we're going to go down to the KSL Sports Rewind guys. They got the post-game show, and they'll also have a pre-game show for that second semifinal game as Orem and Timpview get warmed up here at Rice-Eccles Stadium. 42-0. Lehi is advancing to the 5A state championship game. For Stevenson Sylvester, Dusty Lister, and our entire Game Night Live crew, we'll see you at 2:30.